Welcome. DJ Wild Body here. Welcome to the pre-show. Pre-show mix. Want to hear your music, please hit me up on adswide@gmail.com. You know what I'm saying? We'll go ahead and get it played. Pre-mix once again. DJ Wild Body, how's everybody doing? That's right. Hold on. Let me put up the link to Facebook. Let everybody know we're here. This is our last week. So last week, streaming strictly to YouTube. We'll be going on other sites next week, working all that out right now. Welcome everybody, come in the room. Peace. Yeah. Body here.
DJ Wide Body.
Such a gracious time in my life, even though
Northeast
you think
Beast.
it's not. Wish I
Black
was
man.
in a better position, a bigger spot. Time is ticking, can't turn back the hands on clock. So much time invested, you deserve this spot. So the bullshit deaded. The fat lady can't sing if she already beheaded. New chapter in our lives is where we need to be headed. At the end of the day, we expect it. How you feel about it? Do you feel I'm the one? Does it really matter if we have a daughter or son? As long as it's healthy and shine bright like the sun, we need to stay tight, because you know we are one. They'll get it later. But do you understand? The bond between a child, women, and man is grand. In most cases, right now, we have the upper hand. They expect us not to make it. I'm a black man. See where I'm going with it? To raise a family is terrific, but to grow within loving arms makes life worth living. To raise a family is terrific, but to grow within loving arms makes life worth living.
I can't wait to see the joy you bring in our lives, bringing our lives, and I'm promising
Black man, R.I.P.
this time I'll get it right.
adswide@gmail.com now. Send it in. Going live. 7 o'clock. Show starts.
I love you, love you.
No questions at all. Motivation, maturity, and growth is involved. Better
Northeast Beast.
for you to
Black Mav.
love is gonna leave the whole world in awe. I can see it now. I'm already proud. Can't wait to hold you in my arms and see your loving smile. I'm gonna hold you up instead of trying to hold you down. Truth be told, that's what tears a lot of families down. Not enough support. Fuck going to court. I'm here. We wanna live our lives in happiness, no fear. Be the best man I can be, top tier. Love they can never commandeer. Part of my language, shorty. I'm just so passionate about mine. If anybody tell you different, truth is they lying. I'm just so passionate about mine.
Couldn't do it without you.
Formula 734.
Couldn't do this without you.
Sam Watson, Ron Wallace, Louis Picasso, Buff
Couldn't
One.
do it without you.
Michigan, stand up.
I give thanks to my mama, she raised me. Make sure I was prepared by the time I hit 18. My pops left the crib, but that issue didn't faze me. My cousin moved in, he was trying to stay clean. She raised him too, the job she did was amazing. And speaking of amazing, yeah, my wife is amazing. I feel like heaven blessed me with a hell of a lady. My baby holds me down in a world that's so crazy. She helps me stay sane when this world tries to break me. And back when I was broke, she ain't try to replace me. She put me back together like a puzzle to save me. The women in my life, the reason I can do great things. Great things.
I'm so grateful for you. Yeah. I couldn't imagine my life without you. There ain't nothing that I wouldn't do for you. Just know I'm proud of you. Proud of you.
Yeah. Right.
Just know I'm proud of you.
Flower rose, you my sweetest like Clementine. Wine in a bottle, condescending from your grapevines. If love is love, then it's us until infinity. Kill Thanos to get a grasp onto your energy. If ever neglected, my apologies are sincere. My focus is only on you, my mental will never veer. I steer to your direction. Spit a little game, just hoping you'll be my blessing. One day I'll kneel down, no cap, no need for reverence. Girl, check this. We don't need another man to tell another man or a woman how we gon' do this. Girl, it's on. You'll be dancing in your wedding dress to your favorite song. You got my heart surrounded by nothing but love. And when it's me and you together, baby, it's nothing but us. Cleanliness to godliness, yeah. Girl, you like my remedy. Now I'm turning great things into real things, real things.
I'm so grateful for you.
How can I understand if you don't explain? How can I understand if you don't explain? How can I understand if you don't explain? How can you understand if I don't express? Feelings more like sticking.
Let's talk. Northeast Beast, produced by Dixie Freely. Let's get it.
After we talk, let's walk about it.
Pollution, don't need the air cloudy. Neck rolls and blank stares, you getting rowdy. Silent treatment, dirty looks when you walk by me. Petty games, cause you feel that you wanna try me. Pollution, don't need my blood statement or my simple flare. I don't care, I'm shouting and screaming. I too take a part in the silent treatment, but in the back of our minds, why are we beefing? All it takes is a convo instead of being loud and slamming doors in this condo. I'm lying, we got a townhouse. In which sometimes you pluck my nerves and deserve a roundhouse. Just playing love, let's talk it out. Cause I know at times you want to punch me in the mouth. Best thing that we can do is understand. Or agree to disagree, everything will go hand in hand.
Let's talk. Dixie Freely.
Solution, growth and maturity. It's been a few years of all those insecurities. Opening up was a bit rough, had lots of fear and need. My shortcomings was used ammo against me. Solution, tone down the attitude. I'd rather spark a J and watch a movie in the nude. Movie ends up watching us do what we do. Make up sex, heavy breathing. You love who? Aggressive when it's needed. You love to make love, but respond to when I beat it. Only abuse you'll ever take from me, cause that ain't needed. Let your love rain down on me, that SWV shit.
That blessed girl. R.I.P. little sis. Let's, as we continue, pre-mix, talk that stuff.
Yeah.
Jay Bishop, Tay Lee.
Right yes.
Something out of nothing.
Back in the flesh. Tay Lee. Yes,
get it.
Indeed. Check it out one time, you know.
Memphis, stand up.
I know. I took my time getting this joint done, bro. Man. But yo, it's better late than never, right? Let's make it happen. Check it out one time, you know? Let's go. I've been blessed with this track from the hands of the good bishop. Took me long enough, but I completed the mission. This edition may reveal a few factoids. These black boys like poise and make a lot of black noise. People feeling like they ain't really got a voice, so they settle for less and negate their choices. But this is where the buck stop. Take this track and turn it up while you waiting at the bus. A breath of fresh air when the air's too thick to breathe. I'm full of ideas from 2 sets of shitty sleeves. My committee rolls deeper than the Prince of Thieves. Overpower my enemy like it's 10 to me. Black Haven, Memphis, Tennessee. Mind of a scholar with these hood nigga tendencies. So cats better wise up and clear the runway. I'm a 747 on the tarmac Monday.
Making something out of nothing is our way of life. Blood, sweat, tears, love, sacrifice. We got love for the culture and it's evident. Pay attention, bear witness to the
Get them likes up.
Making something out of nothing is our way of life. Blood, sweat, and tears, love, sacrifice. We got love for the culture and it's evident. Pay attention, bear witness to the veteran.
All I know is these cats better break north at a faster pace. I'm Freddie, Jason, and Mike, cause words lacerate. I'm just trying to create fatter plays to feed those who lack nourishment, those who lack weight. Trying to navigate my path with precise movements. I don't want to be the man with dice in the hand, losing it. The man with the mic in my hand, I keep moving it. When I jam, I keep it deaf like Russell Sickle.
Smith is Smith, double trouble. Shout out Agent Smith. JB Swift, let's get it. Brian Wallace. Theme music, Stuck. Flint. Super Predators. 30 old men. Mental to God, Brian Wallace.
You better be glad I'm a
East Grand.
Cause they be talking slick to a pan of grease. I should bust your lip open handily. Got body back like we just changed the battery. New plan of attack because we did crack the masterpiece. And that's bad news for any crew that's coming after we. Told y'all dudes, don't snooze it. You can rest in peace, cause sleep is the cousin of death. This a casualty. Told y'all quiet is kept. With a secret, they consider best. The rest they say decent. Anybody that's next gotta step inside the ring. With mental, I suplex straight into the chicken wing. To show y'all I mean like Gene. Gorilla like Monsoon, you know what I mean? Tsunami, a typhoon. I draw like high noon. Get the picture? Salute my style behind these balls. Just visit. Man, listen, I'm going hard. You missed it. Rewind and revisit. Each line in the song that I'm kicking is my mind is discussing. I black out, step back, then back out. Never back down to go, my known to act out.
IG model, Jay Bishop. Off that East Grand.
She ain't got the type of body that you see in the magazines, but she gives love and devotion to let you know that she's on your team. I don't chase the superficial.
Listen to him.
I need more than a high follow.
Listen to him.
She don't show it all to the camera. The love she has, she gives it in the house. She's not an IG model, but she always treats me right. She gets all my likes and my follows, cause she keeps it super tight.
I know.
I ain't trying to pass judgment.
I know.
You do what you wanna do. But I'm a grown ass man, and this is what I'm.
People look at you like you's the user, selling drugs to all the losers, mad Buddha abuser. But they don't know about your stress-filled day.
From the
Baby
big joint,
way, mad bills to
Gigahertz,
while you drink Tanqueray, so you
AKA
can reminisce
Lee,
and wish you wasn't living so devilish. Shit. I remember I was just like you, smoking blunts with my crew, flipping those 62s, cause GED wasn't B.I.G. I had to get P.A.D. That's why my mom paid me. She was forced to kick me out, no doubt. Then I figured out Nicks went for 20 down south. Packed up my tools for my raw power move. Glock 19 for casket and flower moves. But Trump's trying to stop my flow, and what they don't know will show on the autopsy. Went to see Poppy to cop me a brick. Asked for some consignment, he wasn't trying to hear it. Smoking mad Newports, cause I'm doing court for an assault that I caught in Bridgeport, New York. Catch me if you can, like the gingerbread man. You better have your gat in hand.
I don't wanna live like this.
DJ D, man, what it do?
Make money off in these streets, cause I'm all about my hustle. I got what you want and need, coke to speed, pills and weed. I got folks that depend on me, oh yeah.
I had the master plan, I'm in the caravan on my way to Maryland with my man 2Tex to take over this project. They call him 2Tex, he told 2Tex. And when he start the bus, he like to ask who's next. I got my honey on the Amtrak with the crack in the crack of her ass. 2 pounds of hash in the stash. I wait for her to make some quick cash. I told her she could be lieutenant, bitch got gas. At last, I'm literally lounging black, sitting back, counting double-digit thousand stacks. Had to reunion, see what's up with my peeps. Toyota dealer gone, had it cheap on the Jeep. See who got smoked, what rumors were spread. Last I heard I was dead, with sticks to the head. Then I got the phone call, it couldn't hit me harder. We got infiltrated, like you know at the Carter. Heard Jack got murdered in the town I never heard about. Some bitch named Alberta over nickel-plated burners. And my bitch, swear to God she won't snitch. I told her when she hit the bricks, I make the hooker rich. Conspiracy, she'll be home in 3. Until then, I look out for the whole family. A true G, that's me, blowing like a bubble. In the end, they struggle. To get deals on the bitch. Now I know
Tasir Rashay. R.I.P. Off that big joint.
Playing the villain, prepare for the strike killing. Biggie Smalls is the illest. His style is played out like I don't know what you talking about, Willis. The drill is gone, the black flag white is here to excite. dick to dice. Bitches are like I'm brainless, guns are like I'm stainless steel. I want the fucking fortune like the wheel. I squeeze cash till my clips is empty. Don't tempt me.
Man, here I am, I'll be damned if this ain't some shit. Come to spread about the lyrics over harmony grit. It's the new kill the death track. Yes, I'm a jet black ninja. Coming where you left that surrender. Step inside the ring, use the number one contender. Looking cold booty like you're busy in December. Take a stop bitching, cutting up your lippin'. From method, all you getting is a can of ass whipping. Hey, I be kicking, you son, you doing all the yapping. Knacking as if it can't happen. Your frontin' got me mad enough to touch something. You want from Shallon, Allen, ain't afraid to bust something. So what you want, nigga? You want, nigga? I got a 6-shooter and a horse named Trigger. Ring, 94, bloody poor. And now you goddamn doors.
Right there's the world. Yeah. Everything niggas, you got the work hard for it. Everybody shake your head, don't stop. The niggas pack the clip.
Keep on, verse 2. Coming with that OEP. Bet the cow, putting niggas back in ICA. I'm left intro. You can bring your whack ass through. I got connection. I got the ass stuck like glue. No question. I be coming down. Yo, I get fucking ass up. It's fucking garbage. And niggas love it. I know the physical form, but
RTO Beats. No, we do. Tranquil Soul. Go cop that. Bandcamp. Huh. Many sides of mental.
From the block, cause I moved to the birds, rest of my head overseas. Didn't mean I was stoppable, makes me less hot. It makes me more raw by 1,000 degrees. You niggas is lukewarm, should perform as some wrong. Before you try hitting it on, think it over, mental to drop bombs. And I'll perform you on the song. Your quarters is not long, motherfuckers, game over. It's been a long time since I was out on the grind. Now I'm back out for mine, that means there's a problem. I snatch a nigga shine so fast, he go blind. Whiplash when I rhyme, barrel spin when revolving. Reflexes step up, get bench pressed up. You reppin' your set, so what? Clown stand down, get Timberland up, body bag stretched up, hit from the somehow, some way, yeah. Coming up with
JB Swift, like saying poetry. We doing Fuck the spark, let's get it.
Yeah, shit like make a few ends, but
I'm funky on the mic like an old batch of collard greens, dropping rhymes and I'm shining like diamond rings. It's the capital SOS AMPOETRY, and I'm making it funky like the DOC. I never crash when JB is on the pads on the MPC, guaranteed to make your speakers blast and your trunk rattle. So turn this up and go dumb like you swung a small knife at a gun battle. Then run tattle like 6ix9ine, how I rip rhymes and metaphors like shrink rap and record stores. I never lost, hit rappers with mega force. I'm the boss like Diamond Ross at the Essence Awards. Not before the Motor City, we smoking anybody who want it like Motor Phillies and Dutch Masters. I plug ashes, then I pass it to the homie J. Turn your notebook to an ashtray.
Somehow, some way, keep coming up with funky ass shit like
every single day.
Funky ass shit like kick a little something funky ass shit like make a few ends, but I somehow, some way, keep coming up with funky ass shit like every single day. Funky ass shit like kick a little something funky ass shit like bounce, but
ain't nothing but a G thing. I speak slang by the beat thing, bling like Master P chain. Yo, there's no limit to my flows. I'm dope with it. Got the whole entire US open like pro tennis. Bring it like Venus and Serena. I caught a misdemeanor. Baby mama said I beat her like Tina, but I'm innocent. I only hit a chick from the back when we intimate, when she consent to it, cause I'm a gentleman. Rocking Timberlands, counting Benjamin stacks over JB Swift tracks. Stay kicking facts, scribbling raps on scrap pages. Those that act racist, no sad faces. This is black greatness, black magic. You can sleep on it like Craftmatics or laugh at it, but you addicted like crack addicts. It's mathematics. With the pen, I'm mad savage, and my rap battles got fans jumping like.
As we continue with JB Swift. crazy. JB Swift. Detroit, stand up.
Man, bro, him. I'm about to go in. I'm about to show them. Yo, excuse me, bro, him. I'm about to go in.
Double trouble.
Show them. Yo, I'ma start my thesis. Couple parentheses. Lyrical slaughter. Walk them on water, but not Jesus. Odds dividing evens. Odds of you be beaten. I be fucking with heathens. You reskin'. Sounding like a heathen. A chop to the throat. Spack him grabbing the piece. Snapping his sneaks and his cold. Yo, tango the antidote. It's in the time drawer. Facebook, bullies fight last, but in the top mode. Show them, then I prove it. I know I'm off the roof, kid. Being stupid is easy. I'm good.
My French fuck riding bitch.
Dream snatchers. Feels.
For me to take my spot, so I won't take my shots. And if
my bad,
then I'm gonna take my
get too excited.
One from the chamber, you gon' be running from danger. So don't be tempting my anger before I empty the bagger. Because I'm violent by nature. You gon' need more than a prayer to flee the hands of a slayer to send you straight to your main. So take a back seat, nigga. This a track meet. I can be the tortoise and you still wouldn't catch me. Cats in the down, should really switch your style. Flows all backwards the now. Cause I'm that guy you should not cross, aiming high at your collar balls. Follow the Molotov, get your mama and daughter off. The lyrical holocaust, take your juice and your title hall. Sub on with the timer off, nigga, pray that you not involved.
Plug the sport. Lost the Compounds, one of my favorites. Big Stack nighttime.
Gutter to gutter.
Starting at 7.
Yeah. Big Stacks nighttime. Come on. Here we come. Nighttime. Inflictions of shell shots, sweeping the spot. My crop is cream, striking on like a light watch. Signs of danger like rows of construction, build destruction. Blow it up, it's eruption. The function, eliminating faces of melanin. Opening third eyes, the suckers come again. The smoke and cannabis, store, can you handle this? It's on the list. Ghetto noise, running the train on your ear hole. The pain is so crazy, drama will unfold. Niggas with loot cakes, many kids move fake. Scammers take to increase share the murder rate. The tendency, here is chemical dependency. Assessing Hennessy, black understand me. Command the attention, invention, and crime is conviction. Doing bitch just leads to addiction. Cars and trucks, pounding beats to the tips out. Instead of grabbing Glocks, I grab mics for headbox and won't stop until the money is endless and spend it. And then I'm feeling independent. The ghetto noise, yeah. Ghetto noise. Yeah. Inner cities be crowded, masses on the blocks who flock from smooth suns on down to hard rocks. Yeah, can't forget the shorties with the backs that's fat. They mad deep, they travel in wolf packs profound. It's my speech to teach. I stay smart like streets to reach each with vocals and ghetto beats. Can't hold back. Cause blacks are attacked with max and crack and push weight to get green and fat stacks. Understand the placement and face it. The drugs and shots and crooked cops, it's hard to erase it. The statement, to say the least. Niggas caught up in the beast of abduction. It slows production. The crime reality, mentality. Cause kid is being slick. He's an entrepreneur of doing sticks. My trick is to stay away and be alone like home. My pleasure is to blast the microphone. Fulfillment, to deal with the struggle that's every day. Some slice grams. I write the shit to take the pain away. On the deal from the havoc that reaps the ploys. The mechanism I spit is ghetto noise. Ghetto noise. Yeah.
right. What's going on? What's happening? Still waiting for a load of some of the panel to get here. But yeah, let's talk that stuff. It's 7th day of August. Fall time's almost here. I cannot wait. Meanwhile, I'm waiting on a few people, but I'm gonna still keep rocking. Peace to DJ D-Man in the chat. Peace to Dixie Freely, my sister Monique Foster Jones on the panel. Once again, talk that stuff. If you would like to hear your joints played, please hit me up at adswide@gmail.com, and I'll get them on when we get we do our pre-mix starting at 6:30. Then we get to the meat and potatoes at 6 o'clock, and there we are. So what's going on? Can y'all hear me in there?
Yeah, we hear you good.
All right, what's going on? All right, man. Hey, well, welcome. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start the intro, and we'll go ahead and get the business. Without further ado, let's get it. Hey, welcome. Talk that stuff. This 8th day of August. Sorry for the stack there. Just get started. I'm DJ Wild Body here. Got the panel filling in. I forgot to put the link out to certain groups. Please bear with us as we start it up. Once again, DJ Wild Body here. Talk that stuff this 7th day of August. That's right. We're live. Please catch us on a playback on Anchor FM, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts during the week. That's right. So yeah, we're here. What's going on? What's happening? Shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to everyone on the panel. What's going on? Amani Foster in the chat. How you doing? How you doing? Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Ho! Once again, waiting for some of the panel to fill in, but show must go on. Talk that stuff. I already said that like 20 times. Talk that stuff for a 21st time, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, right. Let's go. Now I'm playing. What's going on, everybody? Real quick, got a couple of things we want to talk about tonight. Good topics out here, and as well as we'll cover what happened last night with the UFC and stuff, and then we'll go from there. But I gotta get my sound effects in here, man, because I gotta get the clapping and stuff. Yeah. All right. All right, it was UFC Fight Night last night. Real quick, it was a hell of an undercard. The preliminaries, it was on ESPN last night, so no pay-per-view. Please bear with me with these names. All right. In the first match, Bruno Silva, she submitted Stephanie Egger with an armbar. Round 1 minute and 17 seconds of the first round. Second fight, Corey McKenna against Miranda Granger. She also choked Granger out. This was in round 2 with a minute and 3 seconds. Brian Battle, that was a good fight there. Takashi Sato, not Takashi 6ix9ine. He kicked him and he dropped. Guys, lights went out, and that was it. So we were able to watch that last night. Yeah, Brian Battle kind of has the curly hair. 1 minute and 17 seconds of the first round. Somebody got me on feed. What's going on? All right. Moving on to the main. That was the prelims. Terrence McKinney against Eric Gonzalez. Rear naked choke. McKinney choked out Eric Gonzalez in the first round with 2 minutes and 17 seconds on the clock. Next one. Augusto Saki lost to Big Word Skipper Spivak. There was a beat him down with punches, TKO. Brogan Walker against Julia Miller. She also TKO'd her in the third round with 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Muhammad Usman, brother of Kamaru Usman, he TKO'd Zach Praga. This was the Ultimate Fighters final. So Muhammad Usman is the Ultimate Fighter from the TV show. He beat him down round 2, 36 seconds. His brother also won the Ultimate Fighter. This is the first time ever the two brothers have won the Ultimate Fighter. So shout out to him. Vincent Luque against Geoff Neal. This was a quick one as well. Neal beat him down. Well, actually went to the third, 2 minutes and 1 second. They called it with punches. And in the main event, Thiago Santos, 22-11, going against Jamal Hill of Michigan Finest. His name escapes me. Grand Rapids, stand up. Good fight. It lasted all the way into the fourth. It was going to 5. Jamal Hill beat him down with elbows, TKO. Jamal Hill also moves up. He is now ranked. Santos was ranked 5. He does drop down, probably not ranked, but Jamal Hill in the light heavyweight 205 department. Jamal Hill victorious there. Beat a real good fighter. Santos is not a slouch. Santos is getting a little old. Jamal Hill, man, great takedown defense, great hands, and and he could take a punch. So, Dixie, what are your thoughts on that, man? We watched the fight last night. Did you end up watching that?
No, I didn't watch the whole fight with y'all.
Right. What's up, Rick's in the building? Somebody coming through.
Yo, what up?
What up, bro? What's going on?
Ain't nothing. What's good with you?
No, I'm chilling, man.
Trying to get your cameras right.
Yeah, take your time, man. So our topic today, we're gonna talk a little bit about Brittany Griner. As everyone knows, she's over in a Russian prison. She's been detained there since late February. Went to trial, and they actually convicted her. She pled guilty, but they ESPN is reporting that she's been sentenced to 9.5 years in prison. I thought they were recommended that, but I'll go with ESPN because they're pretty reputable as far as that's concerned. But yeah, Brittany Griner, 9.5 years. But I was going to ask, we'll talk about that as well. And also, we want to talk about accountability. As we all know, accountability has a lot of different avenues. And we could talk about self-accountability and yourself. We could talk about that in relationships. Wow. All right. Yeah, so yeah, she was sitting on over there. Question I want to ask is you guys, everyone feels that it's not justified. Damn, kind of threw me off real quick. Hold on for a minute. Give me a second here. Get my notes. Give me 2 seconds here. Yeah, so okay, yeah, they sentenced her to 9.5 prison. The question is, do we feel that the sentence was the Russian law? Should we respect that Russian law? Do we feel that there's a racial element to it as well as a sexist element? That's my question I pose to y'all.
Race, I believe race is kind of involved, but she did break the law.
Yeah.
To be keeping her for that amount of time. And I saw something, I don't know if it was true or not, but it was saying somebody else got caught for more marijuana.
Right.
And was sent home in like 2 months or something. So,
right. Well, Well, I was
and,
reading.
and
Go ahead,
then
man.
too, you gotta look at the political side of it. You know, we've been back in Ukraine, so of course, you know, Russia looking at this like, oh, we got an American. Oh, we finna do them dirty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, to push the ball back in her court, no pun intended. If you know all of that is going on, and you know that this country has a legal policy with marijuana, like why even put yourself in that situation?
Yeah.
Right.
Wait, I got a question. The team she played for, it was a Russian team, right?
Yeah. She plays in the off season. After the WNBA is over, she'll go over there and play.
I agree with everything, but then once I saw that, I'm like, damn, y'all don't even give her no leniency and she played on your team?
Nope.
That's messed up, yo.
And the thing is, I think she was already playing for them before all the stuff happened with Ukraine. I believe you have to fact check me on that. But once that whole Ukraine situation happened, if I was any American, I would be trying to get the hell up out of Russia.
Yeah.
But they're gonna use you as an example.
She had the money to get up out of there, so I don't know why she stayed.
Me neither. Well, that and everything going on with the Ukraine, and you know, they know that we're kind of behind Ukraine. We look at Russia as them, you know, that ain't cool what they doing. So, you know, we're raising money for these people, and then you have someone, a female there that's gay, black, and a woman over there, you know. And I seen an interview with her and sitting in the cell, man. She's apologizing. I was under stress. And like, yo, you just burying yourself. Just be quiet, man. And I kind of feel my thoughts on that. I kind of felt like, you know, she was even saying when she was over there playing, the little girls be waiting for her after the game, and she kind of felt like a real big celebrity over there. So she probably got, you know, thought she was feeling herself, because that doesn't make any sense. You know, I'm not saying people don't take weed with them on a plane, but we damn sure know how to conceal it, you know, putting it somewhere that people ain't looking, you know. So for it to just be out like that, I think it was 0.02 ounces that they found her with, you know, but you know that the penalties and stuff.
I think it was 0.7.
0.7. Okay.
Mhm.
You just being saying 0.2. Well, it was cannabis. I mean, I don't know. What do y'all think? You think, you know, you think it was you think she just thought she could get away with it, or they thought it might be regular vape? I mean, what are y'all thoughts behind that? I like to know that.
I mean, she's an American at the end of the day, and she feeling she need to smoke marijuana.
Right.
She figures she can bring it wherever she goes. She play ball, you know, she's known.
Right.
You know, I think she felt she could do it.
Yeah, I think she felt she can do it too, which means she probably been doing that.
Right. Right. I don't think it's his first time as well either.
I agree.
But you know, somebody brought up a good point saying how she was saying, I guess, you know, the whole fame with little girls looking at her a certain way. I don't know. Maybe they don't want their people looking at her a certain way.
I'm kind of thinking that too, actually. That's crazy you said that, because I mean, I don't, you know, I like the fact that we go over there to Greece and all these other countries to play ball and stuff. But end of the day, when you leave outside this country, nobody want to hear you got your medical marijuana card from Colorado or wherever state you in. That don't mean nothing to them, man. Nothing. You know, there's some rules here. You know, actually, Mississippi just overturned I think they're voting on this guy they gave a life sentence to for having 3 ounces of weed on him, saying that he had a violent past. So, you know, we got to kind of check what we doing.
Yeah, I was gonna say America got an issue with.
Yeah,
with
it's pretty much the same mentality.
Too.
Right.
It's the same mentality, and Russian American, Russian Caucasian American. I mean, it's the same classism from way back when.
Right.
You know, but for
We got
me,
issues right here in America with that. Too.
Right. For me though, I feel that Russia was using this as a tactic to get back at America for all those damn sanctions we put on them for that Ukraine invasion. And it's funny though, I'm gonna tell you something. We kind of did, not we, you know, those folks did some shady stuff to a Russian boxer not too long ago, before this Brittany Griner stuff.
Wow.
They held that man's purse for months. Not because he did anything wrong, but because he's Russian.
Know that.
Beeble, who shot? I mean,
Oh,
who beat Canelo?
Canelo. Okay, I didn't know that.
They put that man through all kind of trouble for him to get his money for that fight.
That's messed up. I did not know that.
You know, you got the sanctions. You got us playing games with their athletes.
Yeah, she just took one for the team. That's all.
She did. Yeah, I think so. You know, it's unfortunate, but
yeah,
to swing it all the way back home, we gotta get out of this mentality that we can break the rules and then complain about the consequence that comes later. It's like if you know a situation ain't good for you, like don't put yourself in that.
Real shit.
Don't do it.
Really,
they ain't gonna play. They ain't gonna play fair with us. We already know that.
Oh, and we already know that, right?
If the standard is 2 years, they giving us 10.
Right, or automatically. And then she's already, this big 6'9" basketball playing, gay, got a wife. I mean, me personally, I would have left that out of there. I don't want her appealing. I would have had somebody here that, because at the end of the day, I'm not saying don't be proud of what you are and what you do, but you trying to it's self-preservation right now. They don't want to be talking to your wife over there, man. That stuff weird to them, man. They don't look at it the same way we do. And I think people get it confused. It's a different culture over there. They don't play around with shit like that, man. And then especially you not there, they don't like our lifestyle here anyway. They don't like how we live. They think we're all drug addicts, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be prescription medication or illegals. They don't like the way that, the way they're legalizing marijuana, so it's a different ball game over there, man. You seen go watch that movie called White Nights with Gregory Hines. Everybody ever see that?
What is it? White Knights?
Yeah, it's Gregory Hines. Back in the mid 80s. He was he infiltrated over to Russia. I think he had committed a crime. I got accused of messing. I don't really know. They didn't really say what he did, but it was something serious. And he infiltrated to Russia, and he had him there. He found him a wife. He had him in Siberia, tap dancing and stuff at little theaters and stuff. But they treated him like garbage, man. I forget what name they call him, but so the other guy, Borisnikov or something, he was a dancer, but he had fled there a few years back, and his plane crashed. He was coming from France or something, and his plane crashed in Russia, and they tried to keep him and try to give him a different identity and stuff and try to hide him, but they were telling him that he was dead and stuff. But yeah, Gregory Hines was there, and Gregory Hines was trying to get out of there, and they ended up trading some people. Go if you get a chance, check out White Nights. It's a pretty good.
I think I've seen that before, but I don't remember what it was about. But I know what movie you're talking about.
It's a dancing type of movie, but I seen right then back in the 80s when I watched it, I already knew what Russia was about. So, and another thing that kind of pissed me off, whereas what her wife said, well, if the WNBA would have paid her some money, she wouldn't have to go over to Russia and play every year. Don't say that. Come on. Is like, are you serious? Does anyone, is anyone
She's
here
emotional and pregnant.
She's pregnant too. That's right, ain't she?
Not if she ain't had a baby yet.
Wow. It's a sad situation. I don't want to see anyone in that position, but at some point you got to be taking accountability here. I don't want to hear wrongfully detained though, because that's not the case. So my question to y'all is, how do you think this is going to play out?
Somebody gonna get exchanged. Some murderer, some shit gonna get exchanged for.
Yeah, they're gonna use it as leverage to get something they want. They obviously want something.
Okay.
It's gonna be a minute.
They're gonna lift them sanctions. You have to lift them sanctions off them banks.
Yep, they're gonna have to do something.
She gonna do some time though. She gonna sit there for a minute. I mean, she already been there for what, 6 months?
Right.
Yeah. They definitely going. They obviously saw something in her, because they definitely utilizing it.
Well, they saw opportunity, and I think the media and the social justice warriors out there, keyboard warriors,
right,
did a real disservice. It did a real disservice to her by making such a big deal about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I agree with that.
Leave that shit alone. Let the United States handle it. We already had this issue with there was a girl that had like, I forget how many ounces she had, like 9 ounces or something over there, or something crazy.
Right.
And she did a month. Let home. Same shit. Had it in the luggage. She ended up doing a month, and they let her come back. You never heard of this person. You never heard of this situation.
Right.
But that's how it should have. That's how it should have happened. You know what I mean? But once the people get involved and making a big deal in Russia, you know what I mean? It just
right.
Yeah.
I've heard that
It's an opportunity for them.
Right. I heard they were trying to make a deal with some kind of guy that he had, a murderer, and they didn't want them to kind of put that out. They were trying to do it like under the table and stuff. And I heard we kind
but
of
if I was
it.
the family of the people that this guy killed, I'd be like, no, what the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying?
You think he gonna let him free over there?
No, you can't.
You can't let him time.
You can't do that. Yeah, you can't. The United States can't do that. The United States gonna go. You know, they're gonna say, hey, we're doing everything we can to get this girl back, but they're not stupid, yo. They're not gonna let a murderer go in exchange for Brittany Griner. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, Brittany Griner gonna have to sit. Unfortunately, she's a political pawn right now.
I'll tell you the
She gonna
problem.
have to sit.
I'll tell you the problem. The problem is the president. U.S. President Joe Biden issued a statement on the verdict that referred to Griner as wrongfully detained, and designation U.S. officials have used since May, and called for her release. That's all he's doing. That's all he's saying. The president. That's all
he
doing.
can do. What the fuck the president's supposed to do?
I think he can do a little bit more.
Like what?
I mean,
like what? What are you supposed to do?
What the fuck is he supposed to do?
Maybe stop saying wrongfully detained.
It don't matter what he say. He could sit there and say,
let's start there.
Woof, woof, and whatever.
He's the president,
he
man.
Can say
he's held to
anything
a
he
different
wants.
standard, bro. Wrongfully detained. All he's doing is
he committed a crime and got caught.
Right. She's not wrongfully detained.
The president gonna got nothing to do with it other than she like I said.
So let me ask y'all this: if LeBron, listen to me. If LeBron James had done that, would LeBron be out by now?
Yeah.
Think LeBron would have been out?
He wouldn't have never got detained.
He generate more money, of course. But
yeah, he wouldn't have never got detained.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you don't know what deal he would have made with somebody just to get up off of him. Maybe he might have bought a center or something, or
got that bread.
Right. LeBron or someone of that generates a lot of money.
Sponsored the opening of a wing on a school or some shit.
Right. This guy builds hospitals. Word up.
I don't know how that works, bro. I know that shit got nothing to do with the president.
Well, I don't know, man. You know, you look at when you start looking at other countries, you know, the president is the lead.
President got no power in
the
no
guy's
other
the most powerfulest man in the free world. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, right? That's what everyone else says. The most powerful important person in the free world. That guy right there. And that's all he's done. I don't know. He's act like you care. I don't know. Biden, I don't know, man. To me, let's talk about that as well. We don't see, and I don't really do a lot of politics here, but how many people would, if it was when the next election comes, if you were voting, how many people would vote for Trump right now, opposed to Biden? Will we still?
I'm not voting for no bigot. Point blank. Period.
Yeah, I'm not voting for him either. I'm sorry.
No Trump.
I don't really want to vote.
Now so. you know what
I ain't voting shit. Y'all niggas go ahead, man. Y'all got it.
And it's funny that you say that because I used to, maybe I still am, I don't know, but I used to be that person that was like, if you don't vote, like you're not, you can't say anything. You have nothing to say, right? But I think now I don't kind of like feel that way no more. Like if it's Trump, I'm definitely not voting for him. But if it's another Democrat that I like don't want to vote for either, like why should I vote for that one?
You get no complaints from me if you choose to sit out for those reasons. Yeah. Now people who sit out because they're just too lazy to go vote, that's a different conversation.
No, it's right.
You're right.
No.
Like for where you come from, what you're standing on right now, I agree with you because if it's Trump and another useless Democrat next year, I probably won't vote either. But it's for that reason, not because I'm lazy, you know.
Let me say this. Let me say this.
Sure, right.
What up though? I'm poking my head in for a minute. If there's a middle of the road Republican or a more moderate Republican, they'll clean up everything. I'm not clean it up, but they will destroy the vote. Like if they can find a Republican that's a conservative that is more moderate than Trump, because of how unhappy Democrats are.
Right.
The Republicans will
Yeah,
clean
the
up.
Republicans gonna take that over.
The problem is it's a lot more Republicans with sense that think that the Trumpist stuff is like a cult, bro. It's like did y'all happen to see at CPAC yesterday, they had the man who got accused of January 6th, participating or whatever. They put him in a jail cell at the convention, and it was people praying over him. So these people feel as though their cause is righteousness, like it's rooted in like religious fundamentalism, and it's weird, to see it like that, because that fundamentalism is the root of terrorism as we know it as well.
Right.
So what we're seeing is, fascism, and a cult of personality. It's not even necessarily about Trump. It's more so about this concept of genetic survival. That's why they're doing everything that they're doing, in my opinion. But I'm gonna shut up.
I hear that.
So like I said, a middle of the road Republican would have Democrats and Republicans on their side. So if Trump gets, let me say this too, if they announce charges on Trump,
are there middle of the road Republicans? Is that a thing?
There's more moderate Republicans than Trump is.
Right. I think Bill O'Reilly's
can they run? Reagan was a moderate Republican, and you get right now if you're not all the way over there, you get ran out.
I don't know.
I know this. If John Kasich would have won the nomination against Trump, I would have voted for him against a Democrat.
Right.
I know. I just see two parties. I see one party full of idiots, and I see another party with no direction. So I got no interest in either one.
Because with Kasich's that middle of the road Republican you're talking about, Wallace. He was very fair-minded. I thought his policies and plan was fair for everybody. He wasn't doing that coded language that Republicans always do, the dog whistle politics and all of that. He's like one of those cool white dudes you can sit down and have a beer with.
Right.
Y'all can have that, man. I'm not interested. Y'all can have that shit.
You can take it, man. Jeez. Might call me. So yeah. So I didn't want to really get down that rabbit hole of politics, but I was just curious because you know how some people believe. Well, I'll say that if I have to vote Republican, I've always been a Democrat, not really a left Democrat, but at this point in time, whoever's going to start trying to give shit back to us, man. I just feel every time a Democrat takes office, it's always
ain't nobody giving shit back, man. That's the thing about politics and government, man. Once you go forward, you go forward. There's no going backwards, bro. They don't know. They claim that taxes, you're never getting that shit back. They're just gonna find something else to use. Nobody's ever. It's never gonna go back to the way it was. People always make that, those kind of claims. I don't know. I just don't fall.
I hear you, man. I mean, I don't know. Like, you remember, like, how do you feel when people come to you and say, "Oh, like what Mo was saying before, as far as, oh, you don't vote, you don't have a voice." I used to agree with that, but I don't anymore. You guys, how you guys feel about that?
I shut my mouth. I agree with it. I think because I don't participate, but I say like this: if you're going to complain, you should run for office. You should do something.
I don't know.
Do something about it.
Maybe you don't want to run for office though. Maybe you just want somebody.
Everyone's not a politician.
It's an American complaint. It's American. It's an American institution. I should say complaining. Hey, somebody should do something about this. You know what I'm saying? It's a purely American thing to be that person. Hey, this is wrong. Somebody should do something about it. You know what I mean? And not me though, but somebody else.
Pass the buck to somebody else, huh?
Right, exactly.
I'm willing to say this, like,
I don't subscribe to the complaining either. I don't even listen when people complain. I kind of tune out. But
if just saying complaints are basically the same, man. I mean, shit's outrageous. Inflation and then the cost of living and shit. It's crazy, man. Like when I first moved down here. Oh, go ahead.
Inflation was here before you was born.
Yeah, inflation been around for forever.
Inflation was here way before you was born, bro.
Things getting high, man, and
in the
nothing.
in the 70s, it was even
in the
worse than
70s
that.
when they took away the gold standard, exactly, and Nixon took away the gold standard back in, and what was that, 1971 or something? I don't know if any of y'all
something like that.
If
it was Nixon,
if
under
older
Nixon.
than that. But there was inflation even before then, but it was very small inflation and stuff. But there's a lot of policies that happened way before we was even born that instituted. If you just look at inflation and look at the way the salaries, the average American salary has gone.
Right.
Inflation has gone way like this, and the average American salary is going like that. You know what I'm saying? If you can see what I'm doing. So inflation has way outpaced the salary. Everything has gone up except for the salary of the average American. That's pretty much stayed steady since the 70s.
Well, except for fast food. Man, you can go flip a burger, man, get $16, $17 an hour now. Down
is
here.
It $16 an hour, or is it the same? If you look again, I don't want to get too deep into it because I know not everybody understands that. But if you look at inflation, right? Inflation means you could say you're making $16, $17 an hour, but are you everything else has gone out, has way outpaced that.
Well,
really,
Malcolm,
if he matched inflation, if the burger guy matched inflation, he should be making like $25 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Maybe more than that if they matched inflation. That's what I'm saying. Inflation has way outpaced the average salary of America. It's basically turned the middle class into poor. Working
They're
poor.
the upper poor class.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Welcome, Monica. Sorry, I didn't see. I thought I sent you an invite. Welcome to Talk That Stuff. How you doing?
I just want.
I'm good, bro.
How's everything? I'm chilling.
Hey, how are you doing? No, but I was just gonna make the point. But as long as they're taking money out of our paychecks every 2 weeks, we got a right to complain about anything.
That's what I was saying. Taxes and all that shit. I think that's I think I'm vetted in when it comes to that. Hey, Monica, we were talking about Brittany Griner before. Your thoughts on everything that's been going on with as far as the sentencing and her being detained over there? You like to add on to something?
I'm not feeling that at all. I mean, I understand Russia is a different entity when it comes to rules and regulations. I know they do not play. We were taught that when we were in high school, but I seriously know in my heart and in my gut that they are using that girl to get whoever they want to get from over here back over there to add on to more BS and nonsense that they got going on. It's ridiculous. I believe they're gonna let her go though. I believe whoever they looking to get traded, I believe they're gonna let her go. But at the end of the day, I'm interested in who they are, who they're gonna release to get her back.
It's either that or they're gonna get those sanctions lifted that we placed on them for invading Ukraine. It's one of the two.
I don't think the U.S. is dumb enough to do that. They're gonna play hardball. She's gonna have to sit for a minute.
Yeah, I'll be surprised U.S. do it for African American. To be honest with you, I would be.
How long you think they're gonna make her sit though for?
They're gonna
do at least 5.
How long?
I don't know if she's gonna do years, but I mean she's gonna sit. She's gonna sit till they get a worthy somebody who Russia is willing to be like, okay, that's good enough. Because they're gonna shoot for, it's a negotiation. They're gonna aim for, somebody way up here. They're gonna get somebody down here, but they're gonna get somebody who's probably value is worth way higher than Brittany Griner. You know what I mean? She really, her value is all rooted in people like us. It's all rooted in the social justice warriors and the people that want to make all this outcry. If they would have just shut the fuck up from the beginning, she probably be home. To be honest,
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I don't know if she would. I don't know. I mean, I want to believe she would have been home. I don't believe that they would have let her go because she is a valuable asset, meaning she's a WNBA player. The fact that she's a woman, I don't think, Russia really looks at their women as
who made her valuable though? That's my point. Who made her? Who gave her that value?
I mean, so are you saying because her talent and her skill belongs to her?
All right.
And
the outcry is what we're responsible for.
Right. And I was going to add on to that. You know what I'm saying? So yes, the fact that our voice probably added to Russia's higher demand, but the fact that she's a woman, number one, and women do not have, and not saying we have equal rights here, but women definitely don't have equal rights over there. You know, they were built off of communism. So they're playing hardball, but we're not really playing hardball back because we don't really hold women to higher standards. As you can see, LeBron, how many people, men, have made real fucked up comments about her being over there? Everybody wanted to play the blame game. And then when they found out she had less than a gram of liquid marijuana, a liquid cannabis, and then that Me Too movement, Black Lives Matter movement, all the women empowerment movement started speaking up, people started apologizing. Russia don't care about none of that.
Right.
They don't care. Our former president, I believe, if you ask me, our former president, he was married to 2 Russian women, Ivanka and the one that he with now, all business deals. That's what they do. I believe women they use as business deals to a certain degree. And she's being used as a business deal, which we can blatantly see on TV. If you're watching the news, now the news are bringing in all types of lawyers that are very familiar with Russian law. And they're basically saying, yeah, U.S. going to get it back, but it's going to be at a hefty price. It sucks, but...
Yeah, we got to think about it. It was just the first quarter of the year. We was closing all their banks and putting sanctions on top of sanctions for them invading Ukraine. So when they got their hands on Brittany Griner, you best believe they were celebrating.
Absolutely.
Can you
absolutely?
She bears responsibility for putting herself in that position, though.
I think she
doesn't.
for sure.
She doesn't put herself in that position. She's not a political prisoner. You know what I'm saying? So she bears that responsibility.
Right. I don't agree
I'm not
with
saying the sentence
amount
was
of
fair.
time.
I'm not saying the sentence was fair, but she was the right person at the right time. You know what I mean? That happens.
You know the rules, man.
And you know what, Malcolm? That situation, I would hope that people would learn. When you're traveling overseas, whether you like to indulge in whatever drug that you like to, whether it's alcohol, whether it's weed, whatever the case may be, is it worth your life? Is it worth your freedom to go to another country for whatever type of excitement you spent your hard-earned work money on to go there to have fun? You still got to come back home. So you can't put that on pause to go enjoy. Go ahead, Malcolm.
I can answer that question right now as I'm in Thailand. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm in Thailand right now, and by all means, I ain't doing nothing illegal. You know what I'm saying? Trust me on that shit. I ain't trying to stay here any longer than what my plan was to stay here. So I mean, it's time to go home. I don't need none of those issues.
I've always heard. Go ahead.
We're scratching the surface on this mentality, this rebel mentality that far too many of us have. Because I'm thinking back to my college days when we was playing ball and shit, and we all knew when the drug tests were coming. So those of us who like to have a little fun on the side, we knew, okay, around this month we ain't doing nothing. But there was still a group of guys who still would do it and would be killing themselves to get clean 2 days before the test. So it's like, why?
But when the issue with that is you can't then, once the repercussions come for what you did, you can't then complain.
For sure.
About
for sure.
what happened.
And
I know that's what we like to do as Americans and shit. We like to dodge accountability.
For sure. I mean? We don't. But I'm speaking to the mentality. Like, why do we even do that in the first place? Like, you couldn't wait a few weeks
because people think it ain't gonna happen to them. People think it's not gonna happen to them. That's why.
Absolutely.
Because Black folks is yearning to have that feeling of it's not going to happen to me. We so busy trying to be like white folks in every aspect.
Trying to pseudo celebrate.
Ah, damn.
Yeah, we
definitely
still
agree with that.
Still trying to get a piece of that privilege. Like, you just not going to get it. Leave it alone.
Damn. Yo, that's deep.
Instant words. Instant words, yo. Absolutely.
Pseudo celebrate.
Shout out to that word. I'm fine with that. I don't need to. I'm content. Leave me off the radar. But she's, I agree. I think I know she's done that before. It's not her first time doing that. Because, people all know how you smoke and stuff and how you supposed to. Women, where you gonna put, you throwing certain stuff. You're not trying to get caught with it. So
for sure, man. I know it kind of spins into the main topic of this today's show, but it's like you got to have the ability to quickly do a risk assessment in your head for anything you do. Like, what is going to be the fallback if I do this? Is it worth the chance?
She wasn't expecting it. She wasn't expecting it this
Didn't
to
see
happen.
that coming, yo. She probably
Yeah,
thought,
she ain't see that.
even when she probably got caught, she thought it was gonna be a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
You know, ain't no
I
way
believe that.
she looked down the way.
She just right person, right time. But Russia was like, "Thank you, Lord, for sending for doing what you did. Thank you."
Digger Hertz, shout out to Digger Hertz in the chat.
You.
Digger Hertz is saying now there's going to be a referendum on NBA players' wages. And then he said the fight for higher wages for women's sports has began. But my thing with that is Digger Hertz is WNBA don't generate NBA money. So what are they looking for here? I'm pretty sure these women are getting paid what they can pay them. As far as, you know, you got to turn a profit. You got to take care of these stadiums, whatever.
WNBA doesn't turn a profit. It actually
they don't
goes
turn
in
a profit. Well, so you're still operating.
They're a tax write-off.
They go in the hole.
So
the NBA pays for the salaries that they do get. Most of that comes from the NBA because they don't generate that type of money. Anybody saying that they should be the WNBA should be paying them more money, I would ask that person name me 5 WNBA players.
What? 5 that what?
Just 5.
Name me 5 WNBA players.
Oh man,
I can't name 5.
Dylon, and Dylon.
I can name 5 because I watch the WNBA. I enjoy watching WNBA because they still play, you know, classic basketball. But I'm in the minority in that. None of my other partners really watch WNBA.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
no one does.
I mean, I like the fact that they have the league. Before they didn't have a league. If you remember, you know, they had the Olympics, but I mean, there's places that, you know, the WNBA is fairly new. It's still trying to grow, and I think it might hit the ceiling. I mean, I don't think you guys remember how it was when the WNBA first started. I mean, it was hardly knowing anyone in the seats. So yeah, you got the you're under the umbrella of the NBA. What?
And that's
bro, it's still like that.
That's when they had their most famous players: Lisa Leslie,
yes,
right,
Cynthia Cooper,
yes,
Dawn Staley, all of them. You know, and
for
whatever reason,
bro. But besides the playoffs, those seats are empty.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying nothing that's non-factual.
Right.
You can go on YouTube and check a game out. Check out highlights from a game. Unless it's the playoffs, you're not getting that.
Or you getting them shits from your job somewhere. Hey, I got some nice front row NBA tickets. You want them? Nah.
Yeah, right.
I gotta work in the morning. Sorry though, but thanks for the gesture.
Right.
Yeah. And also, if you look at I mean, people, I don't know why people keep using LeBron as a because she's not equal to LeBron even in the WNBA. She's not the best player in the WNBA. She's not the LeBron of the WNBA. But if people want to use LeBron, makes what, like $44 million a year? You know how much money he generates for the NBA? He generates like 10 times that.
Yeah.
So he's underpaid. LeBron's severely underpaid. What he generates for the league.
Yeah, I got you.
And I know they pay him the max. There's a max salary, but shit, LeBron should be making like $200 million a year.
Man.
He's way underpaid.
Damn, that's coming from a Nets fan. So I know you.
Rick,
you agree with that, Rick?
No, that's facts.
He does generate a lot of money for a lot of people.
Yes, he do. Yes, he do. I couldn't get off a mute fast enough. I agree.
You good. Yeah. I ain't mad at it. I ain't getting out of it. So yeah, go ahead and give it to him. A-Rod money.
I'm sure you contributing to it, whether you at a game or whether you watching it on TV. You still contributing to it.
Absolutely.
Whether you purchase a T-shirt, a hat, or anything with a WNBA logo and with his name on it, they making money.
Yeah,
I agree with whoever made that statement. I'm sorry, I wasn't checking my phone. He definitely is underpaid. You are not a nobody. No, you're not.
You're not a nobody, Mo.
I ain't nobody for it.
Wait, what you say, Mo, about a Slurpee? What'd you say?
I said even if you buy a Slurpee from 7-Eleven, you don't know
Yo,
Slurpee cups.
his picture, right? His picture, you right.
On it.
So compared to the NBA and the money, LeBron getting slave wages.
But the good thing about his slave wages, he probably getting everything he got for free too. Like I'm sure he ain't paying for clothes, sneakers.
Now he gets paid by other things. He gets Nike. He got other endorsements, and he's got
right. He got the endorsements, but he also getting a lot of.
So I'm not saying LeBron's not fine. LeBron's fine, but I'm just saying the NBA wise, they can only pay him a certain amount. The same thing with Jordan. Jordan, do you know Jordan for years played under a $1 million contract? You know that?
because his endorsement deals was out the roof.
Because it didn't make a difference. And then finally, towards the end, he was just like, you know what? I'm not helping this cheap ass owner out. You know, I said, nah, pay me. You know, that's when he started making it in the $30 million range, and that was back in the '90s. Shit. So,
all right, I got you.
I mean,
you can even take this. You can take this this route, and you could take it the college route. Them boys for years been not getting paid a daggone thing for their talent, and they fought for years. You know what I'm saying? And I know we drifting off of the topic, but
let's go there. Go there.
No, I'm just saying, like salary wise, I know we were talking about Brittany, but there's men that's been in the league that paved the way for females to get a piece of the pie. Right. They got a piece of the pie, and I do agree. It's still building. But damn, the league been active for years, and they still with that small piece of the pie. It's baby steps as opposed to the men in the league, whether it's NFL, NBA. They come in. When it's time for them to negotiate their contracts, they getting good deals. Women, on the other hand, they not. Yeah. And when they make stupid, silly mistakes like what she did, and I agree with whoever said this ain't her first rodeo. She been doing this. This right here could set women back too. Just for the simple fact that your dumb ass didn't think to, excuse my language, you didn't think to leave that cartridge behind when you got to your destination. You could get another one or hold off. You only gonna be there for a little while before you move on to your next destination. Come on, you gotta be better. You gotta think that. Yeah, come on, think.
Gotta be accountable.
Yeah, exactly. And
too risky.
It is. And
she should have shoved that shit up in her damn tampon. One of the other shit. I mean, I don't understand why she just had it ready.
And you know what, Mo? Maybe she could, maybe she couldn't have, because them X-ray machines, they showing all internal sugar honey iced tea now.
Damn.
They getting real graphic. But they're heat censored. So if there's heat in that area and they believe with unreasonable doubt that you may be carrying something, they're going to pull you in that room. It's still not worth the risk. You got sentenced to 9 years for less than a gram of liquid cannabis that wasn't even going to keep you high for long, because you can only consume but so much. You still got a job to do.
Right.
And granted, taller people do have more pain in their joints. They're more receptive to arthritis and all types of other health issues, but was it worth it? Come on, we experiencing this in our own prudent layperson life. Like the average Joe will go buy something. You don't know how many times that's been stepped on. By the time you get it, you take it. Is it worth your life?
That's an interesting question right there. Word up. That's an interesting question. I feel not enough people ask to themselves. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you got to weigh the consequences and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Of your actions. You can't just say, well, I want this, and you know what I mean, I'm gonna take it, because you know a lot of times people get caught. You might not get caught every time, but it only takes
risk
once.
Assessment.
You know what I mean?
Risk assessment. And it's a status also. You gotta look at that. She was comfortable with it. It's certainly
hell yeah.
It's a status. Once you get to a certain level, you start doing more, more things.
Yeah.
I know me as a regular person, I'm not like someone said, I'm not going to Russia with shit on me.
Right.
I'm not going to Africa with shit on me.
Digger said Grindr probably has never had anything inserted.
You know what?
Maybe that's why they found the way it was at.
She had a strap on. She definitely had a strap on.
Shout out to Digger Hurts for that. But listen,
but you know
I
what?
remember.
You know what? I just want to say something real quick, and then I'm gonna let y'all rock out.
Good.
I'm mad at whoever her agent is, her manager, whomever's supposed to do a one-over. We don't even know if this girl was set up. Somebody could have stashed that. Somebody could have packed her bag. We don't know how that shit went down. But my thing is, if I make so much money and I hire an assistant, my assistant is supposed to be my right hand. I may have 2 assistants. That other assistant is supposed to be my left hand. Am I asking them to be responsible for 100% of me? No. But these celebrities get so much money and they get to a certain level where they're paying you to think for them. They're paying you to be them. And if she had an assistant, or if she had a manager or agent with her, you mean to tell me nobody thought to do a one-over? then what do you hire? What do you have them on a higher roster for?
Yeah, like Brittany, check
because
your shit.
guess what? Exactly like when my girlfriend bring me to the table, I'm not letting my girlfriend drink out no open bottles. I ain't having her step on top of a blunt that was had lips on somebody else I'm not aware of. Like, nah, fam, we get our own, or we wait till we get home, or we ain't getting nothing at all. But I'd be damned if I let my home girl who hired me to be her right hand and her left eye, yo, let me check your bag for you.
Right.
That's
some
what
people,
I'm
some celebrities just be wild, and that's how you get celebrities with DUIs, and that was the issue with Vic, man. That was the issue I had with Vic. You know what I mean? I hate to take it back that far.
We can go there with that one.
Yeah,
let's
I
go.
know. But Vic had people. Vic had people that should have had all of that.
Word. Tell me
He
how
was a
your boy
fool.
from Black Ink. Tell me how your boy from Black Ink see still walking around and he beat them damn dogs. He ain't get locked up. Michael Vick. Michael
Vic was a fool for having them type of people around him, bro.
Right.
Just for that alone.
I'll put it in my cousin's name.
Yeah, all of them should have. Yeah, all of them.
He definitely shouldn't have been letting that shit go on anything, on any premises that he owns.
Not with his name on it. Not with his name on it. Yeah.
He took
He should have had people lining up to take them charges.
That's when
lining
you
up to say,
cussing motherfuckers out. Like, yo, get your fucking.
They ran from him as soon as they could.
Like,
they
listen,
ran away from him as soon as they could.
That's the money right there. We got to keep him making money.
Yeah, you got to keep the money straight. If nothing else.
What you say, Dixie?
When this happened to Dallas Austin, he got caught in another country with weed. It was like probably in the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
And they was getting ready to give him life. And Michael Jackson, of all people, had to go down there and get him out of that situation.
Shout out to Mike. Jesus.
Who the fuck was this? Who was this?
Dallas Austin,
the producer. Music producer.
He produced
Monica, Boys the
They
Men.
just call him Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas Austin. He was
big time producer in the 90s.
He
got caught with some
Michael
drugs.
Jackson.
Chili got a kid with him. Chili got a kid.
Yeah, she
Yep,
do.
Chili
Yep.
got a kid with him. Yep.
That's right. See? Shout out to Wacko.
Yeah, he had the rap group Illegal.
Damn. That's a blast.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I always say when I see somebody get a DUI, one of these celebrities, like, why I would have someone drive. I forget how to drive, man. You know what I'm saying? And and these
like
people
to a
get
certain level, you think you're above the law.
That's
if you got a certain mentality,
right.
Trying to get a piece of that privilege.
If you got a certain mentality, you're not factoring that in. You're above the law. You got money. You can get out of whatever you win. Whatever
privilege
you win. Yeah.
Somebody said that. Yeah, it's that privilege thing. That's deep. That's deep.
It all ties back to ego.
That ego will get you in trouble.
Let me tell you something. I hate to say it, but us black folks, we want that shit so bad, especially now. You know what I mean? With us being able to attain it, more than maybe our parents or grandparents could have. You know what I mean? Like we owning multi-million-dollar houses and got good careers going on and driving nice ass cars too. So we want to get a piece of that pie too. We want to feel for once. We want to feel what that. I hate to say what that nut feel like. We want that. We want that real.
Yo, that's deep. That's real deep right there. Yeah, I'm 100% with you on that. That's fuck.
Even though we know that the consequences are not going to be the same for us, even though we know that.
So here's my thing with that, and I'm going to drift off real quick. And I was actually talking to you about this the other day, I think, Mo, about how we're our consumer, the way we consume warrants us having and buying back into our own shit. And how we don't do it so other ethnicities come in and set up shop in our neighborhoods and make that money that we should be actually making and recycling. You know what I'm saying? So I think as far as us wanting to try to get that privilege, we should be probably using that energy to contain, our own shit. And somebody, man, I don't know if you guys watched that guy. He played Mike Tyson. He was the kung fu guy, dude.
Michael Jai White.
Jai White. He said he was arguing. I don't know if y'all see it. He was arguing with I don't know if it's a white guy. Something he was saying about more black people kill or black people in certain in neighborhoods and stuff. And he was saying, well, it's based on where you're at. If it's poverty stricken, then yeah, and you can go to a white trailer park and you probably say it have the same kind of violence and killing and shit going on there too. So I think in a perfect world where we're taking it and we're recycling, because every other ethnicity does it, as far as the Chinese, the even the Mexicans, the Jews do it. They have their own shit, and you know what? You take care of your own, you police your own, and the poverty
We
gets
never
cleaned
learned
up.
that though. We never learned how to do it.
I know.
When you don't own anything, it's easy for people to create your narrative for you.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
systematic.
Right.
It's systematic too. You got to understand, it's systematic. It ain't. It's systematic also.
Yeah, it's been an uphill fight to ever own anything for us. Yeah,
It's a program. It's a programming of sorts. You know what I'm saying? It's like, as long as I can program you to believe that you are substandard and keep you in the kind of mentality that you are used to operating in, then you'll self-correct yourself. You'll keep the narrative going because I programmed you that way.
Right.
Right on.
Plus, I think I hate to do this, but to bring this into it, but I think we've been waiting for the Messiah, I guess, maybe to come.
But that's another byproduct of programming. You think about how we were introduced to religion, how we were given religion, and it's like, don't worry about what's going on here on earth. Your promise is in heaven. When
don't do anything because our Lord and Savior will come and get me when it's time.
Right.
So don't do anything now. Just wait. Just sit back and wait.
But so many of us, man, like have been indoctrinated with religion to the point where we won't venture out and do anything because we're looking for somebody to save us from whatever peril that we're facing. A lot of us are just hypnotized under that mindset, man. It's like, and it'll never get any better because people are programmed to be in the same spot, to stay in that same spot, and keep operating within that those parameters or whatever.
Right. Hey, Malcolm.
Yeah.
Answer this, man. What do you think is the biggest issue in regular Black communities? The biggest Achilles heel?
Probably emasculation of Black men.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Eradication of our families, to me, especially taking the Black man out of it.
As far as like
to be that
kind of hurting the family structure, structure in the house.
That's the number one issue right there.
You guys agree with that?
I agree with that. Broken families.
Because
that's the foundation.
Right.
When they started taking was the biggest problem.
We think about it like this too, like in the late 60s and the 70s when they started to do the what was that? They passed a policy for that men couldn't be in the house because of all the welfare shit, man.
Yeah.
Like when they started with that, and everything else kind of snowballed after that. You know what I'm saying? From taking the men out of certain households, poor households, and on top of that, everything else that they from the drugs in the community, from all the stuff that's planted within our communities that we don't have a say in, but we take part in.
Can I interrupt you for a second, bro? It's always been the strategy, even since the slavery days. It's been the strategy.
No question. No question.
You know what I mean? Yeah. We didn't have the control then, but we fought back after that to have a family structure. You know what I mean? We fought for that. Black people were the highest percentage wise of marriages.
Married people,
right?
Throughout any race in this country up until around the 60s, around 60s, 70s, when women chose to take the government as a husband instead of the Black man.
Right.
You're true Republicans too.
But there are so many weapons aimed at the Black community. So I won't say it's just that one thing, wide body, because you got to think about feminism really has done a number on our community as well, because now women are faced with the undaunting task of thinking that she don't need a man in order to survive, which I mean, it's
the government is the man.
Oh yeah, no question. But and that's not saying that because it's a lot of sorry niggas out here who ain't doing nothing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side of that, it's like that's just a byproduct of right, exactly. Right. But it's the byproduct of, like you said, all those implementations that have been put in place through time, whether it be through slavery on up into the 40s, the 60s, and now the present day. So it's like
best way to target people is to divide them. And
divide and conquer, man. Divide and conquer.
That's the easiest way to target.
I think the best way they really got us black folks is, and I hope I can articulate this the way I need to say it.
You say big word, skip it. If something comes along,
You know, that's Aunt Marsha's work right there. We had an Aunt Marsha say that. That's Aunt Marsha work. That's what she used to say.
I used to say
word,
that. That's right.
But some kind of way we forgot, because we was around when it was happening, so we had to have known. But some kind of way we forgot what our contribution was to all of this in the first place. So some kind of way they programmed us into thinking that, and I think it does start in the 60s with taking the man out the house and now having projects. So people aren't owning shit no more, right? And they just not feeling like they, like when them white folks talk about, well, I pay my taxes and I have the right to say A, B, and C because I pay my taxes. You know how many people that probably was on welfare that felt like, oh, well, I don't have a right to say anything because I don't pay taxes because I get assistance from the government, or I don't own anything, so I don't have the right to say anything, or all these policies and procedures that they're talking about that doesn't include me, or that don't include my family, or I don't know. It's almost just like taking away. They took away our contribution to what we did. So now when we think of how the American dream is supposed to go, like we're never included in
it. I got you.
That never includes us.
Right.
We don't never think of ourselves when we think of that. Like
that's on every level. That's on every level of life. That's on every level though. Because you think about when you go to school never teaches. I tell my daughter, my daughter, and I tell my wife is a school teacher, and I tell them often, like, the curriculum that you teach and the curriculum that my daughter, adheres to every day is not engineered for her to be the best version of herself. They're not going to teach her to uplift herself or be uplifted by the contributions of Africans before the slave trade. They're not, or the people that did stuff post slave trade, in whatever era you want to think about in America. So it's like, so your curriculum is never going to be structured in a manner that is going to make you, be the best, uplift you and be the best version of yourself. So
it's the American dream.
Yeah,
it's not your dream. It's the American dream.
It's like it's an inferiority complex that happens in history class, because I remember we sat there and talked about the Rough Riders for a whole week. You think my teacher thought to mention the Buffalo Soldiers and their contributions to that same war, same battle? Right. So it's like when they omit things like that, we leave thinking we made no contribution. We have no back.
Right. Hey, but think about this though. Think about this. Whenever, I think all of us are the age when we all did like Black History reports and all that good stuff, right? Think about this. You never saw a Malcolm X be offered to you to write about. You never saw Nat Turner be as an anecdote to write about. You're never going to see people who are fighters or who are people who are trying to liberate. You're never going to see those people given as an option. I remember as a kid, we used to have like certain Black figures on the wall, like Nicky Giovanni, Ralph Bunchy, Thurgood Marshall. Thurgood Marshall, people like that. But you're never going to be given. I had to dig to find Malcolm X one time. My teacher was looking at me like, "Yeah, how you know about Malcolm X?" We never told him about Malcolm X. But because I was a Public Enemy listener and an X-Clan lover, I knew about that kind of shit as an elementary student. So yeah, so they're never going to give you that, which you can be inspired to be the best version of yourself, or to kind of like give some balance to the situation, because they're not
can't rely on them to give you anything, bro.
No, exactly.
Man.
So that's
we're not victims anymore. We gotta get rid of that mentality, man.
Because right now we're in the information age, bro. So there's no excuse for nobody not to know anything about themselves, about the opposition. None of that shit. Like, it's right there at your fingertips. You know what I'm saying? It's right there in front of you.
Right. But you know what I have learned about it being right there in front of you? It's not always right there in front of you. So if you don't know how to search, if you don't know certain buzzwords, if you don't know certain dates or certain things to say, that shit isn't at your fingertips. I think some people are just so damn ignorant Yeah, no, and I mean ignorant, just literally not knowing.
Not knowing, right?
So
Yeah, that's
ignorant, you just don't even know where to start. You don't like. I
That's
hear
curiosity.
people say that all the time. It's information everywhere, but if you don't know where to start, if you don't know what to look for, if you don't know what to ask for, you're not gonna know. And then we could take a topic, and all of us can say we're experts and show all of our 50 million acronyms behind our name, and we all can say something totally different. So now, which one of us is telling the truth? Now, which one of us is right? You know, to the average person that don't know where to start, that's some confusing ass shit. And that's where they got us at. They got us confused. We don't even know how to think for ourselves. We can't articulate. We can't make a critical decision. We just fucking confused.
But that's why they call us.
I take back what I said. I want to say it real quick. The worst thing that happened to black folk.
Muted yourself.
You muted yourself, yeah.
Nah, that's all. That was the point. That was it.
Oh.
Oh, the worst thing happened to black folks is black folks.
No, white Jesus.
What?
White Jesus. God damn.
Yeah, you had muted. Yeah, muted.
Oh, my bad. I'm holding the phone while I'm driving.
I say to that point though, I think it's curiosity is something that I guess gets instilled in all of us as a kid. And for me, it was my dad. You know, my mom was probably more in charge of my survival as a kid. You know what I mean? When it comes to nourishment, when it comes to the protecting me from guarding against, you know what I mean? You know, hey, running out in the street and doing wild shit. You know what I mean? That I did as a kid. My dad was more of the teacher. You know what I'm saying? And I can't say that. I don't know how that goes in all families, but I know for my kids, I'm more of the teacher. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of I get their brains working to be curious about the world, because how can you learn if you're not curious? It's not that black people are dumb or, we got ignorant kids or whatever. To me, they're not curious about the world. The world, something you have to be curious about. You know what I mean? Why does this work? How come when I turn on this light switch, the light comes on? You know what I'm saying? How come when the sun comes up at a certain time every day? You know, why are there time zones and shit? Why I'm on a different time? Why is it 8 o'clock in the morning here where I'm at? You know what I mean? Whatever time it is over there where you guys are at. Why does that type of stuff happen? And if you're not curious enough to ask these type of questions about the world, then you're never going to expand your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it was that came directly from my dad. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and I can't say that's the way every family works, but that was how our family worked. You know what I mean? My dad was the teacher. My mom was,
pretty much how all old school families went. Now it's not the same teaching. We don't teach. Even I blame myself. I don't put those pictures on the wall of those black folks y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? My pops did that. My moms did that. I don't put those African paintings on the wall. I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So
I think it's a level of comfort that we obtain, man, through time. Because I tell my wife a lot, man, like, we in this present day and time, we think that 2022 is different than 1965, 1963, 1967 and stuff. It's the same shit going on. It's just more covert, and it's a lot more shit covered up. But they get us with entertainment. They get us with these other distractions that'll make you believe that that times have really changed. No, it's just phased. It's just malaise and phased over.
Let me ask you this: do you think the fact that Rich was saying about putting the pictures on the wall, do we feel like the people are the generation, our parents, they did the work already, and this is the end result? So we feel that we don't have to put pictures on the wall anymore, because
you got to keep it going, because white America.
I agree with you.
White America don't stop teaching their kids. They don't stop teaching their kids about. They don't stop teaching their kids about white heritage, and they don't stop working overtime to make sure that you as an African, they make sure that they submerge your history and your contribution every year. When they do these textbooks and stuff, they make sure they submerge your culture, what you bring to the table. Although all of our contributions, even with slavery, everything after slavery and before slavery, should always be always preface any history, because they've all stolen from us. Everything. I'm talking about from your laws. I'm talking about from the rooter to the tutor. They've stolen everything. So you know what I'm saying? So
what's starting to happen? What's starting to happen is our kids are starting to understand where white folks is coming from with whatever their quote unquote reason is for why they don't understand why we are the way that we are. So, you know, it's some of our kids are like, well, I don't feel like I'm still being treated different because I'm black, or I don't feel like white people are racist, or everything is not race related when it's, you know, so.
But that's a trickery. That's that trick knowledge.
Yeah, that's because they don't. That's because they can't read subtle racism yet.
Right.
Wait till they get into corporate America. I see it every day.
They're about to say it's not a responsibility of a kid to be able to read, and they shouldn't have that burden.
Right, but they will once, because that same shit happened to me, man. I seen it in the way they're experts at it, in the way in some of the shit it's just so blatant, but it's so
man,
they're normal. Their culture.
I be at work. I be at work calling it out every day. I be busting their ass every day.
But should a kid have that burden or that fatalistic attitude?
I want my kid to be prepared.
It's on us to teach them, man.
Right.
Yeah.
It's definitely on us, and we should.
It's on us to teach them without taking away that attitude that they can have success in this world. Because honestly,
we should.
This is the best time that it's ever been in the history of the United States to be a black person. It's the best time it's ever been.
Yeah, but we're not getting the
best
correct
chances
images.
of success now than
What'd you say, Rick?
ever has been.
They're not getting the correct images. We need to bring those images back. That, like I was saying earlier, that I slacked off. I didn't put the visuals around. Yeah, I talked about it, but I didn't put the visuals around. Like, yeah, these black people were successful through the trials and tribulations they went through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I spoke about it, but I didn't give them those visuals. You know what I'm saying?
We're
standing on the shoulder. Supporting that. We got to stop supporting that narrative too. Like, listen, not that, you know, Jay-Z or 50 Cent or whoever the hell is out now is our children's role models, but some of the stuff, like, come on now, enough is enough. Like, I feel some type of way about you talking about Xannies and perks and like it's like 14, 15-year-old kids. Like, a boy just OD'd around my way, 15 years old. Damn. From taking a bad pill. Like, whatever happened to some kids might have drank a 40 and a couple other ones went over in the corner and, you know, smoked on a joint. But damn, y'all popping pills.
When we was kids, man. Yeah, we was wilding when we was kids, you know what I mean? I don't know about Xannies and all that.
We was wilding around those ages. We was wilding, but it's like this new era of wilding is on a whole nother level. It's like
on a whole nother level.
They
about us
threatening. Right. They wilding on some Vietnam vet coming back from the war type of shit.
Right.
They said that about us too, man. You know what I mean?
But it's definitely much more extreme than it was, man. You gotta admit that. I mean, shit, we drunk Mad Dog and Wild Hours Rose and smoked weed. I mean,
yeah,
a couple people sniff coke.
At 14, I was drinking 40s.
Right, couple sniff coke, but
that
was
drinking 40s and doing meth is something totally different.
Right.
Yeah, of course. But I'm saying, you think it wasn't kids doing that at 14 back then?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, of course it was.
But I didn't hear about it on the radio though.
Right.
But the thing about it is
we got more access now.
Right. But even with that being said though, you know, talking about how Monique was just talking about how hearing about this all day and how it's being portrayed. But also too, even with the music, bro, we used to have people who would teach you if you was a part of the culture, man, like even now, all of us pretty much are into music or whatever. So like there was people that you learned from that showed you what was cool, what was not cool about the culture. And it's like now there's no, you got people creating labels, but they just create labels because they just want to make money, but they're not an active participant in the culture. So they don't know nothing about none of the 5 elements of hip hop. They don't know nothing about Kool Herc. They don't know nothing about, none of the DJs. They don't know nothing. So it's like anything you be a part that you're becoming a part of, you got to do the knowledge on. You can't be a mafia nigga or mafia person and a person in the mob and say you don't know who the founding fathers are of this Cosa Nostra. Mm-hmm. It's impossible.
Yeah,
You're not going to be able to.
You know who taught me that? I can remember this. I think I may have told this story before, an earlier podcast or something. But some James Brown shit came on, and I told my dad. I said, "Damn, James Brown copied off of Biz Markie." And my pops was like, "Oh yeah." I was like,
"Yeah, it's the same." Off the floor.
I said it's the same beat. I said he stole that from Bismarcky. My
That
pops was
is
like,
funny.
really? He's like, really?
Me
Let
and
me say.
Aaron knew about that because we knew all the. I think when half the rap songs out, we probably already knew half the songs that they had already came from.
Oh yeah,
me too.
We just had so much music around us.
My dad was the same way. My dad used to have records and stuff like when we were like stationed over and he used to have records like on the floor,
in the crates,
the wall,
right?
shit.
When they used to stack the crates up.
So like when we'll be driving or whatever, he can listen to a rap song and be like, oh, that's so. But I was always that kid who I read the line. Like, man, he got. I'm like Malcolm. He got that from such and such. Like, they're like, nah, man, that's LTD. What are you talking about? That's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that history of being taught certain things. Like, I always read the liner notes as a kid. Like when I turn the record, as I'm listening, I turn the record over and I see, oh, okay, this person playing the bass and this playing, and that helped me later on as I became the producer. And I'm looking at labels.
That curiosity. Your dad built that curiosity in you, bro.
My dad be like, God damn, they fit it. Mess around with the whispers.
Hey man, but you know what? It's funny though, man, because like Malcolm just saying, your pops is gonna make sure that you correct out here. You know, if you got one of them type of dads, he gonna make sure that you step and correct. Like, you know, you don't want your son to be out here saying no ignorant shit like James. They stole this from James. I mean, Malcolm. They stole that. They stole that from Public Enemy. Like, man, you'll get the man. Listen, let me teach you, son.
Public Enema. You're a Public Enema.
Right.
Pops was like, he said, "What'd you say?" I was like, "Man, he stole that from Bismarcky." Looking at me like.
But you know what? But the record collection that I grew up, you know, listening to when I was a kid, my dad actually blessed me with that, man, about 10 years ago when I went to visit him.
Oh, that's nice.
Man, I'll tell you that's special because I used to, for hours and hours just listen because he had a red it was a red Earth, Wind and Fire record. But as long as I can always remember that record, man, even as an adult, it was red with a gold pyramid on it.
Oh, I know
just which one you talking about.
Yeah, so
he
gave me the record. He gave me the records, man. I was like, "This is my." He said,
"Man, you remember the Ohio Player one that had the woman?"
Yes, he had all that. He gave me all that stuff.
Skin tight.
Right.
Yeah, Skin Tight. That was Skin Tight. Skin Tight.
Wow.
But you know, you like I said,
I think the Brick House one had somebody on there too. She had something.
She was bald. She was bald. The lady was bald with the. Was that Desire with the bald head lady on it?
Did she have like some black stuff around her?
Yeah, she had some black leather. She had a whip.
I know. Too. I can't remember which one that was, but I know that one too.
One thing
but it goes back to like you're saying, man, like, you know, stuff that, you know, a lot of us grew up having around. Like, you know, even if it wasn't your pops, you had I had my uncles and my grandfather who kind of kept me grounded on certain stuff. So certain stuff I couldn't, like my partners who ain't had no dad at the house, I couldn't do that shit because I had a granddad and uncles around the way. So you fucked up, they can beat your ass, the neighbors can beat your ass. When you get home, you're gonna get a double scoop of it when you get to the crib. So a lot of that community.
Like a village, bro. The village don't raising these kids no more, man.
We don't have a village no more because everybody's so sensitive about their children and uphold their kids and all that dumb shit.
You know what's funny with that? My mother was sensitive back then. So I'm gonna tell y'all how crazy this is because my grandmother raised us, and then our biological mother raised Aaron. So or wide body, whatever you want to call him. So either which way, my grandmother she didn't want nobody beating me. But she could never tell anybody that you can't beat her, you know, because that's not how it went back then. So I used to get double threat. Like, listen, you better not fuck up, because if you fuck up, I'm gonna whoop your ass. And then while you with Brenda, if you fuck up and Brenda gotta end up putting her hands on you, then I'm gonna fuck you up, because I don't want Brenda putting her fucking hands on you. So you better not fuck up. So I had like a double on my head, like I better not cut up at all, because I'm gonna get a double ass whoop because my mother gonna be mad because Brenda had to beat me too.
You had a bounty on you had a bounty on your head.
But you know what? That bounty helped me. Like that healthy fear, man. You need that healthy fear. Like these kids, they don't have that anymore. Like whoever introduced them to DIFUS and told them they can make the phone call, like
oh wow,
they was wrong for that, yo. They was wrong for that because these
CPS.
kids, they need to, and it don't work for every kid. I get it, but some kids they just need their ass whooped. I'm sorry.
I told my daughter that if I said you ever pick up the phone and call anybody on me, you might well pack every. I said you ain't bought shit in here, so get your toothbrush.
That sound like my mom. You come raise them too. You come get them.
Get your toothbrush and shit, and you haul ass. But you can't go to my mama's house, and you can't go to my mother-in-law house. So you got to find out where you're gonna go.
When you're out, you're out.
Yeah,
I don't know if y'all saw, but the show Atlanta did an episode about this very thing, and it was very interesting. Where this kid called him no, he went to go live with these foster parents, and they treated him so bad, man.
They treated him so bad.
He ran back home.
That's what my mom
used to say. In the fridge.
She used to say they're gonna come get you and take you to somebody else that's gonna treat you worse than I treat you. They're gonna whoop you more than I. I was like, I just can't get away from none of this.
They were so crazy. They changed his name to Larry.
God damn!
I think I saw that episode.
God damn!
It's not my name. He said it is now.
How old was he?
Probably about 10, 11.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I remember that episode, man.
Change his name to 10.
Yeah,
that's
man.
crazy, man. Well,
I'm gonna tell you something. You try to put your hands on kids today, your anger and your frustration, your anxiety, and everything that goes along with that may cause you to tear that child up so bad you might leave them lifeless.
Right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it. Motherfuckers is angry today. You hear me? Angry.
No question.
And we can have like a full-on show on anger issues alone, anger management, hostility, depression. We can have
trauma.
A whole show on that. But if you put your hands on the child today, that inner you that's telling you to stop might not be strong enough to tell you to stop, yo.
Especially if whatever the infraction is how severe the infraction is. If it's like some real, oh man, oh my God, you lose yourself.
I don't know, man. I think taking away these kids' electronics will do more damage than any whooping ever.
I'm about to say there's smarter ways to do it than whipping their ass. My dad
turn off that Wi-Fi, boy, they get right real quick.
But if you have that kid that don't have all of that, they don't have that fear. Right. And they make you want to go upside their head so bad. And because they don't have that fear, that look in their eye is that I don't give a fuck what you do to me.
Right.
Like what could be what to them?
I ain't got no kids like that. I'm glad I ain't got no kids like that.
But you want to know something? You didn't have to create those children. They exist.
Yeah,
they exist. And the village that Mo was talking about, like we had individuals who could step in for us if we weren't around. That community is very little to none now. So for you to think that you're going to square up on a child and look them in their eye, and they're not going to look back at you, you might want to question how you going to go with this kid because you know you had the ability of hurting them, but they have the ability of hurting you back because of what they see and bear witness to, whether it's TV, internet, games. They know what they can do to you because the kids are doing it.
Hey, my
mom.
I
was too scared. I was too scared of my pops to do that shit.
My mom said in the chat.
I made sure I scared my kids.
My mom said in the chat, she said that's because all you didn't get enough ass whoopings. Mom, you was an ass whooping ninja. Excuse my language.
Angel ain't never whipped your ass.
My ass. What?
No,
y'all know he got his ass whooped. It was Andre that didn't get his ass.
He didn't get his ass.
Right. You're right, Mo. You're right.
I got it,
bro. Andre was telling.
Didn't get no ass whooped.
Andre was telling.
Yo, Dre told.
Dre was telling on everybody.
Dre shut that whole operation down. Dre was shut the whole.
They pushed me down. They tried to black my eye.
Y'all want to play it like that? You sure? Before we go downstairs. Yeah, Dre. Okay. Come back, Monique.
Yeah.
He done tore down a whole bagada.
He been told everything.
Yep.
And then when you be trying to tell him like stop, get out the tree because you're gonna fall. Get out the tree.
But I did.
And then he'll fall and be like, see, I told you if you should have got out the tree because you was gonna fall, you really could have hurt yourself. Yeah, but I didn't.
But I didn't. Fucker. Yeah.
But you know what?
As soon as
Hey,
everybody left, we used to fuck him up. We used to fuck him up.
But I'm asking you this too, wide body. How much of that too, when Monica was talking about how rambunctious the kids are, how much of that is bad parenting too? Because my wife is a school teacher, and she tells me about these kids. She come home, she bring her work home with her. So I got to sit and listen to this shit. So
we had you know what's crazy? We had a few out of the pile that were just juvenile delinquents, they call them. I don't know if they still use that word. Yeah. But I think the ratios kind of changed a little bit, man. I mean, wasn't.
But I'm just saying how, like, like my wife had an incident where this little dude was cutting up at school or whatever. And it's like, it's not just a little guy. It's all the kids, because when the parents got younger, parents start getting younger and younger.
Right.
Those parental sensibilities kind of they didn't have what the typical old school mother what they had, or so like, don't touch my kid, or kids now, you talk to them the wrong way, they got a phone in their backpack, they on their phone getting their mom down there. Like when I was a kid, my grandmother, my mother was like, listen, if they call me and tell me anything about you, I'm riding with them because I know you.
Mom say same shit.
There
come down to that school.
Right. My mom used to tell me if I'm shout to your mom said Andre still getting his ass moving. Excuse my language. But it's like, my mom knew. It's like, he was talking, he was doing this. Mom, I ain't shut up, because you did do it. I know you. So it's like
it's more broken homes, bro.
Right. I went to school.
The answer is more broken homes.
I couldn't mess up.
More single moms raising kids. Because honestly, my moms couldn't beat me, man. My moms couldn't beat me hard enough. There's really no outcome that my moms could really do.
Did you play it off like your mom was really whooping your ass though?
Yeah, I used to try to play it off and shit, but you know what I mean? Yeah,
man,
my moms couldn't be the disciplinarian, bro. And women aren't built to be disciplinarians, man. That's a father's job.
Depends on their upbringing, because my mom whooped ass like
my mom whooped
ass,
bro.
They was doing uppercuts, man.
Yeah,
but again, I mean, how much could an ass whooping really? The worst thing that my pops used to do to me was lecture me, man. That was worse. I would take an ass whooping over the lecture, because these lectures would last so long.
Yeah,
and
same
he was trying to give me
He
was trying to get me to answer a question, like, okay, well, why did this happen today? You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting there, I'm a kid. How can I answer a question like why? Why can go any number of ways.
He was trying to develop your critical thinking skills.
Exactly.
Under pressure and shit.
Right.
And this would take 2+ hours, bro. I could hear my friends. I grew up in Dewood Avenue and in Lincoln Village, bro. I could hear my friends outside playing, or what I thought was my friends, or just kids generally. And here I am having a conversation with my dad about why something happened. I can't answer. You know what I mean? Either way, it's going to be the wrong answer, no matter what I came up with. You know what I mean?
Malcolm, let me ask you this, Malcolm. With the whole time he was lecturing you, right? Hey, were you like scared to swallow? In your eyes, you was running tears, was scared to swallow. Hey,
dude, I was scared to cry, bro, because I couldn't cry, because he'd be like, "Why are you crying?" You know what I mean?
Whenever my dad would talk to me like that, bro, because like my mom could beat the shit out of me, and I can shrug that off, and they hurt. But when my dad talks to me, bro, my dad talks to me, it just really sinks into the point where, man, I'm probably crying. I'm probably looking like I'm scared to swallow, because he talked with so much authority, and he trying to drill it into your head like, hey, listen, man, the world don't give a shit about you. I'm trying to prepare your ass so when you get out here in the real world, you'll be good to go out here.
Real shit.
Here, man, like, so
I was just trying to get back outside to go play, man. That's all I was doing.
God damn.
I'm like, yo, just tell me what I need to know.
I wanted to go back outside and play.
Right.
Just tell me the point of what you're trying to tell me. But my pops was not like that. He was like, yo, what happened? Why did you do this? Let's dissect this. And I'm just like,
root cause analysis and shit.
I don't know what answer you're looking for. And then whatever answer I could come up with would always be wrong, because we had to delve into that now. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like
No.
so, like Digger said, it was my critical thinking he was trying to develop, and I'm just like,
Dixie.
yo, I was lost,
Dixie,
bro.
yeah.
This shit took like 2.5 hours for him to
Yeah,
get through.
so
And I
by
was
the time
just
he got by the time you got done, you ate it. It was dark outside, so you gotta go get washed up for dinner.
Yo, yeah, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I dreaded that shit more than anything, bro. I dreaded my pop sit down and fucking having that conversation, because if I sat there and I fell asleep, my chest wide open and shit. You know what I mean? So my chest was getting hit.
Yeah.
So I couldn't fall asleep. I couldn't like not pay attention or drift off. I had to pay attention to every single word.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it was torturous, bro. It was
Yeah.
torturous.
I'm like that with my kids now. Like I can count on my hand how many times I whoop my daughter or my son, but they'll rather me whoop them than to talk to them, because I'm an orator when it comes to distance. I'm an orator. I'm gonna have a whole speech.
Here's the thing: it had no emotion in it whatsoever. Like my pops was totally emotionless. He was just like, you know, well, tell me what happened.
Was he monotone also?
Yeah, he was like real understated. My pops was real understated. You know, he could, and the thing about him is that switch could flip so fast.
So you ain't trying to hit that flip. You ain't trying to have that flip, the switch flip. So you trying to stay.
He already instilled the fear. So it was like, yo, I'm not trying to
take him to that level.
Right. So I had to deal with it on the understated tone, but it was just a question. I couldn't. I sit there and like, why'd you do it? I don't know. Like, how could you not know? Well, weren't you there? You were there, right? When it happened.
You just there.
Yeah, of course I was there.
Manipulating your mind, shit.
So bad. And we talk about a half an hour why it's impossible for you to not know why you did what you did. It's impossible, right? So we get to the point where I come up with a reason or something, you know what I mean? And then my kid reasoning would be something stupid, you know what I mean? And then we have to go into that for another half an hour. Why, you know?
And your dad had time, huh? Jesus. Yeah, Shout out to your pops for that.
Yeah, but you know
that's
what,
one thing
that's good though, man.
He had back then was time. Everybody's parents had time. Yeah. Let me tell you, you would throw your ass on my mother's couch. She'd be like, now stand there and sit down and get up 50 times until you learn how to sit on my couch.
Hey,
or if you slam the screen door, she'd be like, now you're gonna open and close that screen door for the next 5 minutes until you learn how to open and close door properly.
My mom used to make me sit face myself in the corner and put an ashtray on top of my head. So now you sit there until you. Yeah, man. Listen. That's why I was one of the most well-behaved kids, like going over family members' house and shit. Like my mama gave us a speech in the car. Like, listen,
let me give my story.
Yeah, I was a well-behaved kid compared to my siblings, though. I was well-behaved, man. I was a middle kid, so
you was a middle child, yeah.
I was always good, man. I got most
middle
of the shit.
Middle kids don't know where they stand at, man.
You know who made me tough, though? You know who made me tough? My sister made me tough. She used to whoop my ass, but I'm glad she did, because the ass whooping I got from my sister, I ain't never got ass whooping like that on the streets ever.
Hey, how much older was she?
What, you about 3 years older than me, Mom?
Yeah, I got Aaron about 3 years. But the funny thing is Aaron, like, we came around each other like when we was a little older. I think I was like 13 and Aaron was like 3 years younger than me. And culturally, we just was real different. Like, he was from the South. I had spent like probably more of our time either overseas and up north. So I was like, where the hell these country ass little bumpkins come from? And why do they talk like this? And why do they act like this? Like, I ain't understand. So yeah, I was wrong. I was wrong to Aaron. I was, but I did. I used to beat the dog shit out of Aaron. Wow. But I was like,
I'm sure he deserved it.
I was like,
I didn't deserve any of that.
Learn how to get
I'm sure he deserved it.
He had to get tough.
See, my mom was something like Malcolm's dad. Like, sometimes she bring out the switch. Sometimes she gonna hit me from a psychological perspective. Like, I remember one time I got caught with some cigarettes, right? So I just know she couldn't beat me. She didn't beat me. She told me, nah, smoke the cigarettes right here in front of me.
Damn.
And from that day forward, I never picked up a cigarette again.
That's what's up, though. I mean, shit.
No, light it. No, I'm gonna light it for you.
Show me how you smoke it. Show me how you take the pull off.
Didn't it happen to somebody else too? Didn't it happen to somebody else too? They got caught with some cigarette.
I told you I was smoking a cigarette behind the church. Me and my big sister and my cousin. That time I was telling you about that. And my big sister's like she's 4 years older than I am. And that stopped me from smoking cigarettes, man. Cause like her and my cousin, they could smoke like a pro. I took a pull off the cigarette, man. I almost killed myself.
Set your life on fire.
Man, listen, I choke for about 2 minutes. I'm like, you know what? I'll never smoke anything ever again.
My father did that shit to me when I was younger and made me take a I was like, I think I was rolling up little pieces of paper acting like they were cigarettes. And he was like, oh,
man, we used to
smoke. You want to smoke real bad? You want to smoke real bad?
Yo, we used to use the roller shit with tea bags and shit, Mo. We used to try to smoke that shit, Mo.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, what really kept me away from smoking is we was military brats. Every place we went, everybody was chain smoking.
Man.
So
like,
when we left, our eyes would be bloodshot red. And I was like, I can't do this.
Was
like,
serious,
I can't
man.
breathe.
This shit was serious.
So we used to be assholes. We used to roll the window down. It'd be in the middle of the winter time. It'd be cold as shit in Jersey, snowing outside. We'd be rolling the windows down. Yep. And they'd be like, roll the fucking window back up. We used to be like, nope,
right.
I'm gonna do it.
And they smoked the 100, the marathons, bro. Like, God, man, you
back
can't smoke a regular
to
cigarette,
back.
man. Like a real 6-minute smoke. You gotta have a goddamn 30,
The
40 minute one.
The whole house got cigarette smoke all up in the clothes and shit.
Did y'all have yellow walls?
Man, we had all that. Yellow walls, everything. Had to paint every so often.
Yeah, you had to paint.
Ain't give a
We're
shit.
fucking damn, y'all got to travel all over the world. Y'all's lucky, man. Y'all's lucky to be some military brats, yo.
Yeah, to a certain degree.
For a minute.
I mean, I felt like no identity or something because like I say, I was.
You're not grounded when
you're
military brat. You're not grounded.
For me, it was easy. It's easy to say goodbye to people.
Yeah,
like
friends and shit.
I love relationships, but I can
you easy to say goodbye.
Like I could drop a relationship at like let you move 2 towns over. Like I just
I'm never gonna see you again.
I'm never gonna see you again. You know what I mean?
Well, you're a Pisces, ain't you?
Don't get me wrong, in my mind I have fond memories and I'm always reminiscing. But it's just it's over now.
Right.
You know, and I had to learn how moving 2 towns over don't mean that that's the end of a relationship.
Like,
so
I'm never gonna see you again. Like, damn, it's going 2 towns over. I probably won't see you.
That's back before Facebook and shit, yo. That's back when that was basically a death sentence and
shit. You change zip codes on her, it's a wrap.
Yeah, you couldn't call. You'd be calling. It'd be calls and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, that shit was over. Yeah.
It was definitely over. And then you might get lucky and go somewhere, be stationed somewhere else. And then we used to see this shit all the time because I spent a lot of time at the NCO club because my dad drank and my mother was like, okay, I'm gonna fix your ass. I'm gonna be the bartender. So I used to be up in there all the time.
Fucking
and then
Bacardi.
Man, they used to get
you ain't end up joining the military, though?
They used to get lit.
What? You say, man?
I said, Monique, she ain't end up joining the military?
Nah, I don't know why she
didn't. I didn't join. I wanted to though, but I let myself get talked out of it and I ain't joined. But Aaron joined. I got a sister.
How many years you did? Why?
I did
active.
I did 2 active and 4 in the guard.
He was in the guards for a while too. Yeah.
2 active? Yeah, that's barely was in there, man.
Yeah, he was barely in there.
You was in there to just get a haircut, man.
Aaron too metrosexual for that shit. That shit wasn't working out.
Stop it right now, Mo. You bugging. I was good in there, man. I just didn't like my job. I would have re-up. My job was fucked up. My job was fucked up.
My grandmother tried to tell his dad, she was like, yo, I'm telling you right now, you
can't take all them beauty products.
You gotta take the right MOS.
All right.
Talk about
this episode of Talk That Stuff is brought to you by Pop Bush Shop. Pop Bush Shop. Customize the custom woodworking, coffee table, china cabinets. They do it all.
Hey, let me find out you right. I'm in desperate need of a manicure.
Yeah, no, and you know what it is? You know what it is with Aaron? You know what it is? Because Aaron's good with his hands in terms of like putting things together and fixing stuff and all different kind of shit. So it's not that he won't get his hands
What the
dirty
fuck job
like
did you do? Yeah.
It's the bugs for Aaron. It's the bugs. Like that nigga he don't want to deal with the wildlife.
Yeah.
What job did you do? Nigga?
I was a MLRS rocket joint.
A missile specialist.
Yeah, I was a missile
Yeah,
specialist.
what's wrong with that?
But the thing is, but when you went to
was you Bravo?
Now 13 Mike, 13 Mike. But when I went in,
the problem with that is you out in the field all the damn time.
they show you sitting behind this little computer terminal and shit in the MEP station and stuff. Like, all right, I'll do that. That's look cool, man. Yeah, it was a computer terminal sitting in a track vehicle in the middle of the fucking woods. They didn't show that part. So when I got there, I tried to get out of that shit and they wouldn't let me get it because the job wasn't 100% strength in the military. So
yeah, they needed people.
So the plan was to get out of there and then go back in, but I ended up going back in the guard. I went in the guards instead because I was going to go to school and stuff. So that would have been perfect for me to do. So I did the guards, man. I did after that.
Why? By like in other news.
Yeah.
My poor brother couldn't deal with them with that wildlife. He was like,
nah, man, it was the mosquitoes, bro. It was the size, man. I seen this girl get bit in the forehead. Looked like I seen Rockman speed knock in half from Holyfield that time, man. Tore her up, bro. Like, yo, this shit's. I had y'all was sending me Skin So Soft and everything in the mail, man. I was good out there, bro.
He was like, I got my M16 in one hand and my bug spray in the other hand.
Skin So Soft.
So yeah.
Skin So Soft. Ain't that Avon? Ain't that Avon? That's Avon.
Yeah, Avon, man. That's the
we
best.
Sending them whatever we thought might work with them bugs, yo. Them bugs was serious.
Best combat. Take it from me, man. Skin So Soft is better than any off-skin tastic, anything you can use, man. Put some of that on.
Hey man, you know what? You told me you was a model once, bro.
Oh, you ain't see the pictures. They ain't see the pictures. I ain't gonna say no wild. I'm out of this, man.
That's fucked
I'm
up.
out of this, man.
I like this portion of the show. Make fun of Aaron and shit. I like that.
Malcolm, you next, man. I'm gonna have a whole show on you. Wait, I wish I'd known it was gonna happen tonight.
A lot of our, community problems will be solved, man. We could just, get that one aspect of it right.
The village part.
I
think it's the village part, man. I mean, I think it takes a village to raise these kids, and I don't think the village got time anymore. The village is.
We went from the village to the hood. And so
that's exactly what happened.
I'm gonna be real honest with you. Since my husband has passed, my village has stepped all the way up, and it's just it's a beautiful thing. Like I see how certain people, and everybody can't do it, every day, all day. You know what I mean? But when I just see how a lot of the men have stepped up and try to have certain conversations, because I got all girls, you know what I mean? So I'm already hesitant with that, but just certain men just, having conversations, or just like my youngest, she 15, just trying to, have a certain conversation with her, whether it be about how she conducts herself or, just having friends there that be in the middle of stuff, trying to have conversations. Because sometimes as a parent, your kid don't want to hear what you got to say. You know what I mean? So if they can have, somebody else to talk to that, you can trust, that at least they're having conversations with that person, so my village definitely stepped up. I have to say that I'm really proud for that. And, being part of the village is not easy because I don't know. Sometimes I feel like something happened with the crack era part in terms of like our age group. Because I don't know how old everybody is. I'm 48. And we stopped trusting authority. I feel like that happened with our age group. We stopped trusting authority. It used to be at a time when you could trust authority, but I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people. Hello?
Oh damn! What happened to Wide Body?
Yeah, he dropped off. But
he just had a catastrophic incident over there.
He knocked,
Florida.
knocked over.
Whatever the fuck he did.
He knocked over the skin so soft on the control board.
Florida just fell into the ocean, man.
Right.
The host,
Now, look,
Dixie's
I ain't
the
gonna
host
let
now.
y'all talk about my damn brother. Only I can talk about his metrosexualness, not y'all.
Yeah, we all.
I seen the modeling book, so I already know. I seen that book.
Hey man, that's my guy, man. Hey, we do this all day long.
Yeah, we still live. Hey, we still live on YouTube. I guess on Wide Body Shit. So.
We got a special break sponsored by Popeyes Woodshop.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, what happened, man? The power went out. What time is it out there, yo?
It's 9. I think it's 8:46.
Yeah,
8:46.
Yeah, 8:46. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, hey,
Where
Florida,
are y'all at? Where's everybody from?
Well, I'm from Memphis. He said, "Be right back."
He said,
"Be right back."
I'm from Alabama, but I live in St. Louis.
Me and Rick from Asbury Park, New Jersey.
You still in Asbury?
I am. I came back. I just came back to the shithole.
Okay.
I just bought a house in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta, but I'm in Thailand right now. I'm on vacation.
Okay, what part of Atlanta you in?
I don't know. I'm new to Atlanta, so I just moved there.
What county you in?
I'm in Atlanta. Atlanta, the actual Atlanta, it's the city.
You in the actual Atlanta? Okay.
Yeah.
My youngest daughter lived down there with my mother-in-law, but they're in Douglasville.
Oh, okay. I know what that is.
Most people that are in Atlanta are not really in Atlanta.
That's not Atlanta, but you tell people that's Atlanta because it's close. It's the closest thing to
Well,
Atlanta.
it's close enough. It's Metro Atlanta.
Metro Atlanta, right.
Right.
Because Douglasville is that's before you get to Six Flags.
I moved from I was living in Compton a few years before, but I always tell people like I live in LA and shit. You know what I mean?
Same thing.
Or just like everybody that's in Monmouth County always want to tell people they from Asbury when they, really not go somewhere.
Yeah, that was always a thing.
Yeah. And so you be like, "Oh, I'm from there too. Where you from?" And then they be like, "Oh, Belmar." Like, no, you from Belmar. Not from Asbury.
Right.
That's funny. I forgot what point I was even saying when Aaron flipped out.
Yeah, we was just talking shit about Aaron.
I told him, man, to get the APC, man. The back is computer up, man. He gonna listen one day.
Yep. Aaron had to get the hell up out that military. That wasn't for him. His father did. How many years did Pawpaw do? I forgot, but he retired from the military.
Yo,
there you go.
Yo, back.
My internet's out, but I'm on my phone. Still streaming though, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, we still on YouTube.
Still streaming. Thank y'all, man.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Good.
You got to get that APC, man, like we were talking about.
I got it though, man, but the internet went though. I gotta.
Oh, the internet went out.
You didn't have a hook. You didn't have a router hooked up to that part. Yeah.
All right. About that, we're back on. It's back.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, y'all go ahead and finish, man. I'll gear that back up.
We just talking shit about you, bro.
We just talking about you. But Aaron,
I said
I'm not letting them talk about you. Only I'm talking.
I feel so much better.
You sound like my sister.
Yeah, I said we was on a special break sponsored by Popeyes Woodshop.
Right. Hey, why everybody gonna have us doing commercial spots, man? And we out here every week. Somebody gonna have the responsibility of saying who our sponsor is.
All right. Go check out the unpaid dues on the network.
Right.
I just want to take a quick second, man. This ain't got nothing to do with the show, but this is the epitome of Black excellence. My cousin, I want to shout out to her, Portia Woodford. She finished first place run-up in the Miss USA Black America pageant this past weekend in DC.
Wow,
this is
that's dope.
This is a but here's thank you. But
congratulations to her.
I appreciate it, but here's the kicker in this story, though. This was a kid who, unfortunately, her parents were young when they had her. out in the streets, lost custody of her in the foster system, you know, but she persevered through all of that, went to college, she's a registered nurse, you know, and just, you know, every time I turn around, she's doing something positive for the community. Got into this pageant, ain't never thought about being in a pageant day in her life or modeling it like that, and made it all the way to DC.
Shout out to her, man. Shout out to her for real.
Real dope.
Good shit, bro.
That's what's up.
Hell yeah. We have to congratulate that. And we have to, that's what I'm talking about. And look at the obstacles and things that she went through that she didn't.
Absolutely.
You know, that's awesome, man. Good shit, bro.
Yeah, it's important, man, that we take our adversity and take our lumps, man, and make positive footnotes out of them, because
absolutely
so many times, man, we lean on what happened or what got us in that rut we in, and it's all we lean on. But at some point, you got to stop making excuses, man, and make do.
There you go.
And persevere.
You either gonna barbecue a meal, dude.
Right.
right on.
And
Dixie,
understanding that
so
regardless of what you do, it ain't easy. That I used to tell my kids that all the time. Listen, everything you do is going to be hard, so you might as well still let it be hard and at least be successful. You know what I mean? Because if you have a mediocre job, you're going to work the hardest. You know what I mean? And you ain't going to get paid for it. So why not just still work hard and at least get to where you feel like you're comfortable, and at least it's you set the narrative on what you want, because I don't give a shit what you do. Everything is hard.
I always say that, yo. I always say, like, I work right now. My job is probably physically probably the easiest job I've ever had in my life, man. By far. Well, maybe not by far, but it's gradually been the most paying job I've ever had. It was funny. It always worked harder when I got paid less. You know what I'm saying? That's interesting.
Of course.
And also, when you're working with people, also too, some stuff I try to pass on to my kids, man, especially my daughters, that everybody's not going to have the same drive and determination or work ethic as you, and that sometimes that makes your job suck when they don't share the same sentiment. I said, because people that work together with people, they don't work as a team, and that sometimes you have to be strong enough to kind of like stay within your lane, stay within your element and your mindset in order to get the job done.
Right.
You know.
I agree with
that. Hey, wide body.
Yo.
So from watching this pageant, I think I came up with a good topic for next week.
Let's talk about it.
I saw something in the pageant that, you know, I don't know, I'm torn. So I'm gonna present it to y'all.
Okay.
And this was the first pageant. I ain't gonna say the first pageant, probably happened. First one I saw where there were plus size girls. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Wow. You know? That's a real step up, man, from the pageants I've seen in my life.
Yeah. And now the majority of it was, you know, the typical, you know, thin chicks, tall, thin. Now, my cousin is tall and thin, but they had plus size girls. On one hand, you know, I was like, okay, you know, they just the whole body shaming movement and thing, because some people may have some kind of medical condition that's keeping them from being a certain weight. You know, you never know. So you don't want to say a person's being lazy or not working out, because some people do have medical issues. But on the other hand, I felt like, well, man, what if it's a discipline issue? You know, eating discipline.
But
so
you know what it is?
Right.
It's that we in that everybody get a trophy era, that all inclusion era. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get, you know, and like, I'm glad that representation is there. But
it should be.
Right, but are we still viewing this based on the old standard? Because like right now, they're basically, I feel like they're doing that because nobody want to get left out. So if you see a dude born male in the pageant, it's like
that right there.
That's when I'm drawing the line.
Right. That exactly.
Like,
I'm just saying that's the.
Oh, it's coming. Oh, that's coming. That's coming.
No,
but
because but the reason why I said that, Dixie, is because a while back it was two dudes trying to get into either AKA or DST sorority, and they was making a big fuss about getting into the sorority because they identified, as a woman, as women or whatever, and it was the AKA. And they were like, man, nah, we ain't having that. Like, we understand what you identify as, but like, nah, son, you can't be up in here, man, ski-weeing and all that.
I think it's time too. I think it's time we have a convo on that, how we identify and what our thoughts on that too, man. Because people how some people take stuff and they try to get every little last bit of stuff out of it. You know, just because you identify as a deer, does that mean that I get
Man,
to, you
listen.
know?
I can sit in my garage all day long, bro. That's not gonna make me a Porsche Carrera 911 at all.
Right on.
You know,
I was sitting there watching.
It must be a great society where you know you get to have those the problems that you have, man. Society must be doing that absolutely outstanding, bro. That's your problem in life, how you identify.
But damn, but you know, it's like Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't know how, like, I don't like when people try to make that seem and try to compare that to the civil rights movement. That's where I draw the line and I get pissed off. You can't compare that to the civil rights movement.
But again, that's back. That goes back to what we were talking about earlier about the program. If I keep programming this into your mindset to have you believe that that's comparable, you're gonna buy into that narrative. When it's not, you're gonna buy into that narrative. I think the most, I won't say I shouldn't say irresponsible, but I think the craziest thing that I ever heard somebody say or co-sign to that mindset was Coretta Scott King, and I was like, wow, like out of all the people, and I might be misquoted, I might be getting my people mixed up, but I'm almost certain it was her comparing the civil rights movement to like I'm sorry, it wasn't slavery, it was the civil rights movement to the LGBTQ XYZ people.
Oh man.
No, because all that is out of a choice. We didn't choose to be black.
Right.
We didn't choose to be.
Yeah, but you have a whole bunch of people that's their point. They're telling you that it's not a choice. And so how do you argue that?
I can't.
I'm gonna argue it like this. I'm gonna argue it like this. You cannot disagree with the laws of nature, regardless of what religion you have. You were born a male or female, and your job is to reproduce. That's why you were put here.
But
the part you can't argue is the biological part of it, right? So if you're born a male, then you're really a male. Who gives a damn if you feel like being a woman? But that's the only part that you can argue. Rather than that, the whole, if a man really should be with a man, if a man can love a man, if a woman can love a woman, like all that shit is subjective. You know what I mean?
Right. And which that's why I never argue those parts of it. But one thing they cannot refute is the fact that you cannot argue the laws of nature, though.
Right. Well, that's why I have a problem, Matt, because I don't understand how we can even consider a feeling to be a fact. Like the fact is you were a man. So how do you now get to just say that you're a woman? And I don't care how you identify. Like if you say to me, listen, I'm a man. I know you know I'm a man, but I would prefer to be called she. Then that's a preference. You just telling me, listen, you being respectful to me would be calling me a she. But to go so far as to be able to change your birth certificate to say that, oh, now you're a female because you feel like you're a female, like that's the shit
women's
I got a problem with.
Enjoying women's sports and things of that nature.
Yeah, or now
dominate
you get to participate in women's sports because you feel like you're a woman.
Because you suck against the men. Let's tell the truth.
Dixie, hey man, you know what, man? I know.
Hey,
that's
the reason why me. I ain't got nothing.
Right? All right, me neither. Hey, it's already gone.
Well, you try to cancel me.
Y'all see my background, yo? Y'all see my background, shit? I'm trying to get background. Let me see.
Don't fall, man.
Hey.
I know I'm on the 20th floor and shit out here.
Look what them long lectures
from your pops got you.
Right.
Look at them long lectures from your pops got you.
Right.
Yeah, that look nice. That's a nice background.
It could always be different, man.
Nice.
He could have held back the lectures, man. You've been looking through a different set of bars, man.
Matter of fact, you call your dad right now. Thank him.
Thank him for that critical thinking.
Thank him.
I say call your pops down. Thank him for that critical thinking lesson. Yeah.
Nah, this was due to Malcolm Edwards, but it's supposed to do to
oh boy, all by yourself, huh? All by yourself.
Your pops helped you with that critical thinking.
Word up.
That's everything I ever did in my life led up to this point. So yeah, it all had a hand.
Like
I take full credit.
I just smell kimchi right now back in that background.
I take full accountability for my situation. If I was in jail right now, like my best friend, you know what I mean, doing 11 years in the feds and shit, I had to take accountability for that. I couldn't blame my dad for that. You know what I'm saying? So I take full credit for my situation. I did the work.
Yeah, maybe your friend didn't have somebody helping him with his critical thinking skills and his
I don't
risk
know.
assessment skills.
I think he did. I grew up with him, bro. You know what I mean? We was best friends, so we both used to do the same shit, and we both chose two different paths.
He made a choice, right?
Yeah, made a choice.
I mean, how many fucking Einsteins we got in prison right now?
There's a bunch of smart motherfuckers in prison, man.
Draw and write books and
play ball,
right.
all kinds.
Right. You know, they're probably like Michael Jordan, probably like thousands of Michael Jordans if they just would apply themselves and put in the work. You know, Michael Jordan could have looked like
he's being enticed by the streets, man. Streets be so enticing to brothers, man. They be caught up in a rapture. No Anita Baker.
No celebration.
Real shit.
But, yeah, especially that crack area, that really caught people up. Like that shit was just easy.
Yeah, like if you were a kid on the street and you can make $200 in 30 minutes versus going to Burger King and make $3.25 an hour, which one you think they're gonna choose?
Right.
Yeah, I used to get harassed. I used to get harassed even before I was working age, bro. You know what I'm saying? White people coming up like, "Hey, you got any work? You got any work?" I'm like, God, man. I think back about that shit, I was like 11 years old and shit. Motherfuckers asking me. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
so,
what
like,
if you would have had the product, you'd have been selling it.
That's what I'm saying. What was that? The only thing that limited that was I didn't have no like OGs really trying to get me to do that shit, and my parents and shit. You know
That's what saved me, man.
Wouldn't allow me to be out
not
there
having
like
it.
And you know that shit that changed a lot too, because you got a lot of people now that'll throw their kids up in the gangs
because kids are not going to face those football numbers because they're adolescents. They go to a group home, and then once they reach 18, it's expunged from their record.
Right.
So it's like that's why kids are so prevalent in the drug game because
niggas used to use little kids.
Right.
That's fucked up.
Mules.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
But that felony is gonna be on them for a long time.
Right.
But see, my OGs, like, they knew I was good in sports. So anytime I tried to venture off into that world, they like, "Nope, let me ever catch you out here."
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was regional too, because I think some areas, people just thank God you just had OGs that gave a shit. Other people grew up in areas where the OGs didn't give a fuck. Absolutely. If you showed it interest, then they was gonna put you on.
Yo, what's my man name from remember that man from Neptune who like scored like 7 touchdowns against Asbury, whatever, man?
Which one?
Which one?
That's that Neptune shit right there. That's that Neptune shit right there. That's that Neptune shit.
See, I came up during the era where y'all dominated us and shit.
You talking about Harley?
Robbie
White. We dominated in basketball.
Y'all
man.
got us in basketball. Y'all got us in basketball.
That's what's up.
Which one?
That's what's up. You know, we had y'all fighting for sure, but
definitely that. You already know.
That's bullshit. Y'all had a few people that could fight.
Neptune wasn't ready. Neptune ain't never been ready fast as
a lot of the people that how old are y'all too? There's a lot of people that
46
from
I'm 45.
Okay, I'm 48.
Well, let's talk about that. What year are you talking about? Because if you're talking about some jokers that graduated in like 87, 88, 89, you talking about Robbie White, Treasure Williams. You talking about that generation, like that 87. I
don't know them.
Where you from, Monica? What's your story, yo? Where you from, yo?
I'm from Neptune, born and raised.
Of course.
From Neptune, okay.
I know I tore the 90s up on Neptune.
Get up for Rick.
I don't know about that.
The father.
Rick said he was getting busy.
Yo, y'all ain't had no tall ass niggas that could fuck with Ricks back then, yo.
Man, we probably put
Sean
Ladd on him.
Yeah, Sean Ladd, Derek Gamble.
D Gamble. But yeah, you
see, that's that 91. That's that 91 era. Like,
I played when Justice was playing too.
Oh shit, I forgot about Justice. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you shit on Justice. Justice.
Nah, I was young though. I was like a freshman or something. So I ain't really. Right. I ain't really do my thing like that.
So let me ask: did you do your freshman year in the middle school or the high school?
Oh,
high school. For Asbury, it's 9 through 12 for high school.
We had a freshman.
And Neptune, the freshmen were in the middle school. My year was the first year. We went over to the high school.
Yeah, y'all was weird.
Yeah.
Taught y'all like that? Damn.
I remember that. Nah, they had
and the middle school had a the middle school had their own freshman squad. So if you got drafted on the varsity team, Scott Harley, for example, then you were top shelf. But Scott Harley also had,
No, I just said I didn't know that. You just giving me some.
Yeah. So freshmen had their own squad, but Scott Harley also from Pop Warner up, like his pops was heavily invested in Neptune, board of education. I mean, no disrespect to Mr. and Mrs. Harley, but he had a little privilege living up the hill in Green Grove. So he got to play, but he had the opportunity to wear a varsity jersey as a freshman. So when we transitioned, our year 93 was the first year. Actually, Scotty was 94. I was 93. Our year was the first year we went over to the high school. So any freshman that got a chance to be on a varsity squad, they literally was just on the field. At least I can't recall an actual freshman from my year playing ball. But if you played with D. Campbell and Porgy and D. Walk and all of them, you definitely was like 80, 88, 89, 90, 91, that era right there.
Man.
I
remember
I don't know that era. I don't know.
Yeah, me and Rich.
They talk about.
I know for
but somebody said, who was that joker that ran 7 touchdowns on Asbury? That had to be Robbie White in them.
That's who it was.
Yeah.
That's who it was. But then he
Robbie,
got locked up though. He got locked up with some shit, right? He didn't take that shit to like college or nothing. He got in the streets and shit.
What?
We being recorded. I'm a gracefully bow out of that conversation. I'm a bow out of that conversation.
Yeah, we shouldn't have named that motherfucker. But yeah, okay, all right. My whole point was that you know what I mean. Now
on the feet, bro. She's swift on the feet.
What I will tell you though,
I was about to say you might want to move behind the blur.
Around that time frame though, our basketball squad was dope as hell too though. Because we had a lot of them jokers that played football, played basketball. LaShawn Hubbard,
Mark Murray, Sweet Knot. Y'all wasn't torching us back then. Y'all wasn't torching us.
No.
I'm not younger than what she talking about though.
I'm talking about 87, 88. I'm not talking about 91, 92, 93.
Okay.
I was just talking about.
He only 46.
Because that was my sister. She was 49. She was I was like, that's how I started watching all the sports and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I remember that. I remember late 80s. I remember late 80s.
Yeah, because a lot of them jokers was from up the hill, and that's all they had was ball, because they didn't live down the hill with us where we had plenty of shit to get into. All they had was ball in the street. It wasn't like motherfuckers was riding down the street on the regular. Their parents went to work and their parents came home, so they had free range of the street. Yep. So they balled and they balled hard. And when they took it to Summerfield or Green Grove, like they just became extra talented at early ages. So I'm just going back to the whole 7 touchdown thing. Like they ruled in basketball. If you go into Neptune High School, I don't know if they still got them banners up. But we dominated in all sports with the exception of track and field, because Aaron Purrier and that whole squad, they used to kill us on indoor track and field. They killed Asbury Park. And what's crazy is Mr. Chambers, even though he trained Neptune, he trained Aaron, because from all the Purriers, they were split between Asbury and Neptune, but Mr. Chambers trained a lot of them.
I remember the Purriers. Aaron Purrier.
Yeah.
I remember.
Aaron was tough as hell in track and field. Mm-hmm. Like he was like HNIC when it came to track and field. But that time frame, they dominated. Like the sports was phenomenal then.
Yo, I'm mad they stopped the Thanksgiving games, because we didn't do the football games no more.
They don't do that no more. They don't do.
They did when we was playing between like
the Jubilee,
92.
like the Jubilee. We ain't even in the Jubilee no more. They got
those
a whole bunch of.
They took
when
the
did
Jubilee.
When did they stop doing the Jubilee? Because I thought
they got. I think it's called.
It
something
had to be
else
pre-COVID.
Now.
Yeah, I'm about to say because
it's called something else. It's not. It's called something else. But Asbury don't play in it. Asbury play. I think it's somewhere up north. I believe.
Wow. See that?
Oh, okay.
Gotta keep
But
it
didn't
lively, man.
somebody else sponsor Asbury? Wasn't it an issue financially where they I don't want to speak on what I don't 100% know of, but I thought it was something financial that went on with Asbury where they had to, in their grades, their academic grades or something.
That could be.
Yeah, they had to. Yeah.
Even now, it's like 200 kids that go to that damn high school.
What year you graduated, Monica? Why your face ain't on the
93.
camera? Because I don't know. I can't see y'all. Y'all don't know what y'all.
I looked toe up. That's why you can't see me today.
Hey,
I had
nobody
my
judging
bonnet
that.
on, and I was gonna wear my bonnet
That's your
because I
bonnet?
didn't care. And then I was like,
Well, rock your
these brothers
bonnet,
don't
baby.
know
You
me
beautiful
yet.
no matter what. Throw that
I was
bonnet
like,
on and go on camera, girl.
This the bonnet
Hey,
free zone.
It's the bonnet era right here.
Hey,
I
she
was
can wear.
like-
Hey, but if you're gonna wear that bonnet, you gotta have on an Adidas jacket with it.
Oh shit.
I was too scared of getting judged. I was like, they don't know me just yet. Let me not break it
Well, y'all
out.
see why body sister coming? Hey, I'm playing now. I ain't
Right,
like that. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and shut her. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. Don't go away. Hold on for a minute. We're gonna go and shut this down. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Sorry for the technical difficulties with the power. Shout out to the chat. I can't see the chat right now. DJ D Man, my mother, See Me Hustle, Digger Hurts in there. Yajara Mercedes, that's Caddy over there from the job. DJ D Man, I'm Monty Foster, my niece. Thank y'all for coming out. But join us next week. We're gonna have some great topics coming up. I got a few ideas. I want to run it past everybody. But yeah, please stay tuned to Talk That Stuff, man. 6:30 pre-show, and then 7:00 we start going. Yeah, man. So let's get on out of here. Let's rock. Let's rock and roll. Hold on. Yeah. Please hit me up at adswide@gmail.com. Thanks, See Me Hustle, Monique, Dixie Freeley, Monica Donano, Digger Hertz, Ricks. Oh, who else we missing here? Rod Wallace. Where is Wallace? Speaks on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey! This that new Dixie Freely featuring Northeast Beast. It's called Let's Talk. Taking us out.
Solution, growth and maturity. It's been a few years around those insecurities. Opening up was a bit rough, had lots of fear and need. My shortcomings was used ammo against me. Solution, tone down the attitude. I'd rather spark a J and watch a movie in the nude. Movie ends up watching us do what we do. Make up sex, heavy breathing. You love who? Aggressive when it's needed. You love to make love, but respond to when I beat it. Only abuse you'll ever take from me, cause that ain't needed. Let your love break down on me, that SWV shit. In more than one way. Took the time to make the commitment. There's no standing and there's only one way. Take the key and lock the gate, make life easy, communicate.
Gotta have all the brain cells in my head before I can get something to find this thing. Does everyone need an audition to get
The link will be in the chat to go grab this from Bandcamp. Go check that out, bandcamp.com. Last Dixie Freely. Let's talk. Go cop that. Link is in the chat.